Southeastern Bow Hunter Podcast.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Southeastern Bow Hunter Podcast. So this episode is going to be our first one that is completely in person. Everything you're going to listen to, everything you're going to see is all going to be completely in person in my basement, which we call the studio now. And it's going to be with one of my best friends, Josh Chriswell, the guy that helped me get into bow hunting, just hunting in general. And it's going to be a really good one. I wanted Josh to be the first one because he was the first one that we kind of did a little mock run with before we had any type of new setup like this. And, because of everything he's done for me, I really felt like, hey, you're the one that got me into this, so why not have you be the very first, right? So I'm really looking forward to it. He is actually on his way right now, so I figured I'd knock this intro out real quick. And yeah, it's just gonna be a really, really good episode. So before we get into it, I'm gonna run through these partners kind of quick. The podcast is brought to you by Sportsman's Empire, which is the podcast network that we are under. It's got a bunch of awesome shows, so please go support them. Every single one of these partners, they have, well, every single one except Sportsman's Empire. They have in the description down below on this podcast, you can go to their website if you want to help support them, use any of the codes that we have. It's all right there for you. Next up, Osseo Gear. I'm going to be running the Leafy jacket, which I'm very excited about with the style that I'm changing over to hunting. I think it's going to be extremely important that I use that, and it's going to be very beneficial. So go check them out. The Boutique, best arrow wraps in the game. I don't have to say anything else. G5 Outdoors, I will be running the G5 Mega Meat, and that is honestly the broadhead that I trust more than any I've ever used. I absolutely love it. But they have other things too. If you don't want to shoot a big cutting 3-blade, they've got, the dead meat T2, all that other stuff, and fixed blades. So go check them out. They have every single type of, I guess, bow hunter covered when it comes down to broadheads. Let's see. Next up, Prime Archery. So you can't see it in the video if you're watching. I have my Prime Divide next to me and the Osseo Gear riser and limbs. It's amazing, dude. It took me a minute to get used to this thing, and I've had to tweak some things, here and there to sort of have it shooting where I like it. But shooting darts now, man, and it's completely ready for tack. So I am super excited to go to that. I hope to see a lot of you guys there. We are going to be up there. Me and Jessica are going to drive up that morning and meet up with Josh and his wife Tisha at the Tennessee Tack May 3rd, I believe. And our knock time is at like 9. Well, yeah, it's at like 9:30. It's going to be really good. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I know that bow is going to perform because it's been doing it for me, especially once I got all the kinks out of it that I just wasn't shooting enough and I had to get used to it. So if you guys are in the market for a new bow, head over to your local bow shop, go shoot the new primes and see which one suits you best. And remember, nothing aims like a prime. All right, next up, dialed archery. I've got my proof, my brand new proof that I've been wanting to show you guys and really go in detail on, but I can't. When I explain why, you'll understand. But let's just say it's something that I have been really working on for the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 months, and I'm really hopeful that it all works out, and I think it's going to, but can't show it until the uh the right time or talk about it really. So but Dialed makes, in my opinion, the best sights on the market. They've got the proof, which there's a ton of different adjustments and ton of different I'm not going to say models, but variations of that sight that you can get, color wise, option wise. I mean, there's tons of different things. And if you don't like a roller sight, go get the Strike. Looks exactly like the Proof, except it's a fixed pin system. Let's see. Next up, Moultrie. Not really much to say on that. Moultrie cameras are working great. Got the Edge 3, Edge 3 Pro, Edge Solar. So they got you covered. I know there's actually some really cool stuff coming later on this summer from them that I cannot talk about, but it's going to be sick. So go, if you need new cell cams, head over to Moultrie. Go to any place that sells them and go get them because you will not be disappointed. Next up, Bow Hunting League. So Bow Hunting League, there's some big stuff in the works with Ben. He and I have been talking here and there, really back and forth. And I'm excited. I'm very excited. There's gonna be some big stuff coming from them this year. So if you guys want to be a part of it, if you want to, be involved in all that stuff, head over to bowhuntingleague.com and go sign up to be a state sponsor because you'll get all the perks that we do. And for everybody asking questions and saying, hey, when are the shirts coming in? We killed a buck. Where's the shirts at? They're coming. All right. But there's a lot of people that killed bucks, and that's a lot of shirts. And Ben told me all about it. It's gonna happen. It's coming. He's working on it, but you have to be patient. Let's see. Next up, boning archery. Still running the alpha veins. Scrape doctor. James is coming on. I think next month. Yeah, next month. We're gonna cover scrapes and all that stuff. Kind of do a little refresher for summertime stuff, summertime strategies. So be on the lookout for that. Victory archery in 2 to 3 weeks. I think one of the one of the marketing guys from Victory is going to be coming on the podcast. That's going to be awesome because I have a ton of questions about the new arrows, and I just want to know more about them. And I love my HLRs. I love my RIP TKOs. I'm actually kind of playing with the idea of running RIP TKOs for hunting season this year, um, and then running the HLRs for tack. So that's probably what I'll end up doing. But Victory makes the best arrows by far. So if you need new arrows, head over to your local shop and go get you some victories. Next up is Catalyst Archery. You can see in the video my new stabilizer. I actually got two. I was running a front and back bar. I learned with the divide with the shorter, which I know this sounds crazy, but with the shorter ATA, I actually only need a front bar. So I took the back bar off, put it on my form. So the form's got a 10-inch front bar, and the divide's got a 12-inch front bar. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So if you guys need new stabilizers, go head over to Catalyst Archery and go get you some that are just as good as the super expensive ones, but you spend half the price. Let's see. Next up, God, dude, I usually have this list right here, and I just do this list so I don't forget. Oh yeah, duh. Unbound archery. So again, you can't see my bow in the video, but Unbound archery is the best aftermarket strings that I have ever seen or used. Nick absolutely kills it. Nick knows a ton of stuff. So if you guys are looking to get some new strings, I'd heavily think I'm trying to push you to it because trust me, you won't be disappointed. To go try some Unbound. Um, he can do literally any color that you want. Crayola package, which is like a mix of a bunch of different random colors. It's really sick, dude. It's awesome. So that's all the partners. Josh should be here sometime soon, and I need to mute that. And yeah, it's going to be a really good episode. So before we get into it with Josh, before he gets here, I just want to talk to you guys real quick, just in case we don't. Well, I do it every time, but just in case it doesn't come up in the podcast. Um, if you guys don't know who Jesus is, now's the time. All right. I've seen a lot of stuff on social media that it's kind of concerning, honestly. People thinking that let's just say that certain high up people thinking that they are, I guess, in a sense, the new Jesus, right? Or like our Messiah or something. No, Jesus already came and he is coming back, but not in the form of a politician. And, dude, I don't know, man. I cannot thank Jesus enough for what he's done for me. I want all of you to experience that. And, what he's after is a relationship, not tradition. I mean, tradition matters, don't get me wrong, but he just wants a relationship with us. I mean, that's literally it. And he will change your life. He changed mine. I mean, there's a lot of things about me. A lot of you probably know that, I used to live in and I don't anymore. And it's all because of him. It's all because of him. Josh is the same way. He and I both used to live completely different lives. And because of Jesus, we're now living for him. And we are changed because of it. We are completely new people. We're redeemed, dude. And for those of you that are listening that maybe don't have that relationship with him or don't know him like that, you can have that. It's as simple as going to him. Doesn't matter what you've done, doesn't matter how dirty you might think you are. He meets you where you're at. And I just can't thank him enough for that. And so I pray that every single one of you listening, forms a relationship with him and gets to know him because I want to see you at those pearly gates when my time's up. All right. But anyway, that's my preacher moment. That's the partners. Josh is going to be here any minute. So let's get into it. First in person episode with one of my best friends, the dude that helped me get in the woods and stay there, Josh Chris. You guys can see who's here. My buddy, the bearded wonder. Man looks like a mountain man. I freaking love it. I wish I could grow a beard like that, but I look homeless when I do it. Got my buddy Josh Chriswell on the podcast, and the setup's a little bit different. We're trying to do the in-person thing. And everybody say congratulations to Josh because he just closed on his house that he's gonna kill a giant deer off of. So, Josh, what's going on, dude? What's it like to be the first legit in person? You were the first in person we had like 2 years ago or whatever it was,
Yeah.
but you now are the first in person with this whole janky little setup that we have. So, What's it like?
It's nice. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, I was kind of I put you on the spot there. No, that's dude. So we were just talking actually about your new place that you guys just got,
yeah,
and it is. I don't know if you want to give like the specifics of what public land. I wouldn't say what public land it's connected to,
yeah,
but it's connected to public.
yeah.
And you and I both know what kind of deer are there. I
Hmm.
mean, last year there was like I'd guess a 150 plus killed off of there. Um, and you have already got cameras out. You've gotten deer on camera. You've gotten turkeys on camera. What's it? This is really the question I need to ask you. What's it like finally having a place that you can just go hunt after work? Like you own the property now.
So that's the thing I'm most excited about because, you know, I I'm my old house. I did it last year, but after I shot the one buck I was after over there, a bunch of does, so
Yeah.
I I like watching them some days too. So, but I'm excited about that, and I'm hoping that eventually some wild hogs will make their way over.
I think you're the only person I know that would ever hope that.
Uh,
I don't know a single person in Georgia that would say, I hope hogs show up at my house. I get it though, because I mean, last year when I hunted the quota hunt over, which knowing where your place is, it was nowhere near there, right?
yeah.
But you and I both know that there are hogs on this public,
Oh yeah.
and I saw the giant. I mean, he had to be 300 pounds, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, if he was 30 yards closer, I would have sent it.
Oh
But
yeah.
60 yards on a pig and my setup and stuff, like, especially when it's kind of dark, I wouldn't take that shot. But so I mean, what is kind of the plan like for your place?
So I've already started on a food plot. I've got it in, and I've got clover out already. It's starting to come in nicely.
Hmm.
The drought ain't helping, but I had to run a water hose all the way up out there to it with a sprinkler to get it some water to help it.
No.
The next thing I want to do, there's another portion I want to clear off. It'd be like a winter food plot, where I would plant sweet beets and radish and stuff.
Okay.
I've also thought about go ahead and making a border of like red Milo all the way around it since it's drought tolerant.
Yeah.
That's what we seem to be going through here in Georgia right now.
Dude, that you want to talk about the drought, man. Granny and Gramps and Monticello, I've
Yeah.
texted them 3 weeks in a row saying, hey guys, if I have time if I get off of work in time or whatever, I'm going to come out and plant a food plot. Cause every week I'm seeing, 40% chance of rain here or
Uh-huh.
whatever it is. And then I wake up the next day and it's gone.
Yep.
And it's like, I'm at the point now, I might not even plant anything until the fall. Cause it's just, or I'm just going to wait until we get like a week long
Mhm.
rain. Cause I mean, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like,
It's hard. Like if you ain't getting any rain, the seed,
it's gonna burn up.
yeah.
I mean, there's nothing you can do, especially if you're putting down like, because I'm not gonna do any tilling or anything. I'm just gonna throw clover out and hopefully it works. I mean, clover's pretty hardy,
Yeah.
so
I was gonna say take a leaf blower, blow all the leaves.
yeah.
So
Well, you know
get
where
one
I'm
bare.
talking about
Yeah.
over at their place. They've got that big field,
Uh-huh.
and so which I say big field, it's probably like what a quarter, not even a quarter acre,
Yeah.
something
But
like that.
I mean, at least if you cut it down, leave all the clippings, at least then put the seeds down to where the birds can't
Yeah.
come down and get on it
One
the
funny
right way.
story: Gramps actually cut back there this past weekend, and so like.
Oh, now's your time.
I know, but it's not gonna rain. What am I can't
There's a
run
little
water back
chance
there.
someday.
Is there?
Yeah, it's a slight chance.
Yeah, so it's probably not gonna happen.
Welcome to
Georgia
Georgia.
weather, yeah. Dude, it's ridiculous. No, I don't know. That I say it every year, that I want to do the food plot and like you and I have talked about it a lot.
Yeah,
And I just never get to it. It's always I make the decision or I want to plant too late or when I have time, well that's when we go through a drought.
yeah.
So I don't
And
know. I mean,
and see, my thought with the clover food plot right now is I'll archery hunt it during the archery season, and then of course like the winter plot. If my wife, kids, they want to go hunt, we'll just go sit up there and
sorry.
let them harvest
Whatever
the
they
deer.
want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Well,
the
and dude,
pigs.
you actually, your wife, surprisingly, because I know Tisha. right? Short little firecracker.
Oh yeah.
And she's actually getting into hunting,
Yeah.
supposedly. That's what you tell me. And did I mean, what's that like? Is she actually like showing a lot of interest, or is it just like, hey, Josh, do everything, and then when it's cold, I'm gonna go?
Yeah, she don't help me feed.
Yeah, okay. I
But
figured. Why? It's good. She goes to the gym. It's a good workout. Tell her to carry two bags, two 40-pound
that's what I
bags.
got a golf cart for. I'll drive it right on up
I forgot y'all were big money now.
there. Oh yeah. My $400
I'm
golf
kidding. I'm
cart.
kidding.
But no, like the interesting, like so we were shooting over the winter and we were shooting skeet and trap at one of the gun ranges and she was getting into it. We ended up going to get her a nice shotgun for it. Had to get the stock custom cut down for her because she's
Small.
small. And
There's
so
little.
I I built a AR platform and I built it for the kids, but it shoots a 350 Legend.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have the recoil like, 30-06 does, like if I'm gonna take my rifle, it's gonna be the
Yeah.
30-06.
Big boy gun.
But so it doesn't have any recoil, dang. So
Words. Words are hard.
yes, they are. But so she ordered some rose gold pink accessories to go on it. So it is definitely her gun.
Can deer see that?
I don't know. I don't.
I think they
deer
can.
color.
Oh no, actually, you know what? I don't think they can because that falls under the red spectrum and deer can't see
Yeah,
that.
I've always heard blue spectrum.
It's pretty smart. That's pretty, I mean,
Well,
you need to make her an Instagram that is like just decked out, fancy schmancy, bougie deer hunter. I don't know how well that would be received, but
guns is what it would be.
yeah, exactly. Get some sponsors. Like Sig could call you guys. I mean, there's a market for it. I don't know if you want the market to, be sort of geared towards your wife, but no, obviously I'm joking, right? But no, that's good, dude. I mean, I I tried getting Jessica to shoot a bow, and so I want your thoughts on this, right? So we went to when on my birthday we went to that one archery class, right, with the family and stuff, and she, bless her heart, she picks up this. It was one of the Genesis bows, like one of the youth, beginner bow,
Yeah.
start off, whatever. Excuse me. And she, the guy that was there, I was trying to be as helpful as I can, right? And the guy was like, "So, do we have any lefties here?" And Jessica's a lefty, and I'm a lefty. Yeah, yeah.
Shoot. Go
Well,
ahead.
hold on. So we'll get there. And this is by no means, I'm not talking any crap, but I'm curious, like, if you think that her idea of this could work, because I don't know. I don't think it can. But anyway, she grabs this bow and she's shooting right-handed, like how she was when she got hurt. And she just isn't, she doesn't look comfortable. She doesn't like it. So what does she do? She switches. She shoots a right-handed bow left-handed. And when I tell you this girl was stacking arrows, she Jimi Hendrix this thing. I mean, she literally took like that bow right there, except no peep sight, no sight, just straight bare, basically a trad bow, and she's shooting it left-handed, and is shooting just as good as everybody else. Like she literally had a group about that big. Yeah. So I told her, I'm like, look, clearly you are more comfortable shooting left-handed, but I don't have a left-handed bow for you. And she was like, well, why can't I shoot my bow like that? You know, instead of you buying one. I'm like, well, I don't think you can. Just
chafe her up a little bit more.
well, that I don't know. That's the thing. I don't. I know people listening and be like, well, obviously it's a right-handed bow. You can't shoot it left-handed. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. But I also would think like, what if you took the peep out? And then you use the sight. I mean, maybe she's just.
I was gonna say, there's plenty of guys out there that shoot with no peep.
Oh yeah, Andre DeQuisto, literally one of the best whitetail hunters that ever lived, shoots with no peep. And
Old name Fitzgerald.
yeah, talking about Greg.
I don't know, old dude.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I just was thinking about it because it's like I really don't want to spend money on another bow. I want her to get into it, but I may not even let her shoot another bow because she went to the doctor you tell me how messed up this is, right? So Tiffany was in the hospital Monday, which I don't even think
Yeah.
did I tell you about that? Okay. Um, they had just gotten back from Florida, and so I missed the girls. I'm really happy they're there, but Tiff ended up stepping on glass and got an infection in her foot. Well, the next day, Monday morning, we realized that, oh crap, there's a red line going up her foot into her leg. So, doctor, here we come. And the pediatrician was like, you need to take her to the hospital. This is like something serious. So, I took her to the hospital, whatever. Everything's fine. They give her some antibiotics, and that's that. Yesterday, Jessica goes to the dermatologist to get the lump on her arm checked out after she got hit with the bow. Now hold on. So you know me, right? Like those two are everything to me. So I'm already stressed about Tiff, and then I forgot that Jess was going to that. So now I'm stressed about that because the lump should have been gone,
Yeah.
right? And it's not. And so she's at the doctor, and I'm texting Christina, her mom, and I'm like, hey, any updates? What's going on? And the text I get back says she's getting a shot and a procedure. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, what? I'm like, wait. So you're telling me that she, huh? I did this. It was my fault because I made her go shoot the bow. I didn't make her, but I, you know,
She wanted to
convinced
shoot it
her.
with us.
I convinced her to do it. And so I'm thinking, dude, no one's answering me. I'm driving to the office to go get some stuff while freaking out because I'm like, does my wife have cancer? Is she going to lose her arm? What if she dies? I can't be a single dad. I can't handle that. Dude, it's so bad, right?
Hunting.
Hunting's gone. Podcast is done. My life is over, right? And so I'm literally texting Jess and I'm like, I need to know what's happening. Like I'm freaking out, dude. And so she calls me and her and Christina both are laughing and they were like, yeah, we sent that to you to mess with you. I'm like, y'all are evil. I was like, so what's really going on? And they said that it's basically just um like blood. Like I guess it busted a blood vessel or something in her muscle. And it's just blood that's there. And to keep an eye on it. And in order to take it out, they'd have to like dig in her muscle
Let's
and
say, keep an eye on it. This has been 8 months ago now.
yeah. Yeah. So I don't think it's not gonna be anything major. But dude, it was so dirty of them to do that
And they're
because
thinking like a cyst. Or
that's what we
something
thought.
that formed.
That's what we thought. It's literally just her muscle, I guess, when it hit, it busted some blood vessels in there or made it bleed. And
What pound is this bow?
it was at 40 when she shot it. Now it's
Because
at like,
you go lower, but
that's as low as it can go.
yeah.
Well, and the thing is, like, it, so I've broken down what happened, right? First off, I'm a terrible teacher. I should not be teaching anyone to shoot. Like, if you have a general sense, I can help you. But if you've never shot a bow before and I'm shooting with you, don't look to me
Yeah,
to help.
I
I
get
can't focus. Like, I can't.
Oh,
So,
I do the same thing when
yeah,
hey Josh, watch this shot, or hey Eric, watch this, and like you shoot,
you're off.
I'm off and off and watching your arrow fly. Okay, you
Yeah.
see my form? No.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I didn't know you wanted me to look.
I saw your arrow go right there.
Yeah. I saw your arrow 5 feet off to the left. But what happened was, so when we were there with her, what I was supposed to do was check the peep height because it's tied in, but it's not secured in.
Yeah.
Like it's not permanent. So I could move it up and down. What ended up happening that after playing with that bow and messing with it more, I realized the peep was way too high, like way too high for her. And because I didn't realize that, um, I went from a 28-inch draw, which is what she is, to a 29, thinking, okay, maybe my measurement's off. Let's just try it. It's 1 inch. If she doesn't like it, she doesn't like it. It's fine.
Yeah.
And then that happened. And so I've been trying to tell her, like, listen, it's set up now. I've got the peep in a good spot. But then
Get
she
me one of those
goes,
arm
I
guards.
did. I can't find it, but I did get her one. So, and they're like $15. I could always buy another.
Let's say I remember, and this has been 20 years ago now.
You don't shoot with those anymore?
No, but starting out, I
Yeah.
remember slapping my foot
yeah.
a lot.
Oh yeah, dude. When I was learning on that bow at 41 pounds, because Steve didn't tell me that it was low. I'm not gonna throw him under the bus or nothing, but anyway.
Matter of fact, I gotta go see him.
Well, have fun. Tell him I don't say hi. I'm kidding. No, when I was learning on that bow, there was plenty of times. Plenty. Now I didn't full on take the string to the arm,
Yeah.
but it would slap it.
Yeah, I
And
remember. human sometimes.
Dude, I still get it with this bow sometimes. When I was getting used to that thing, I mean, my beard hairs were getting pulled out, arm was getting, because it's just
You
new.
just get used to that.
Yeah, I changed my form to where it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So,
Well, if you shoot a bow long enough, it's bound to happen at least a couple times, maybe once or twice a year.
oh yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
I mean, even at TAC, hell, that one time we were there, I almost shot the bow without an arrow.
hey,
And then I punched myself in the face 2 targets down.
I did
So
that in the 3D range when me and you went last time.
you did?
No, not the last time, the time before. Remember that dude that was walking the trail? He was like, "Hey, you're gonna shoot without an arrow."
I don't remember that.
Matthews, but
I don't remember
after
that.
I got the Matthews back, and I was
Well, that's
like,
right. Yeah. I remember that
about
now. I remember that. Yeah, it's just archery's tough, man. It just is. And that's why I want to like I really want to try and see if she can do that with because if she can shoot, I mean, when we were at TAC last year, didn't we see a guy that was shooting left-handed with a right-handed bow and he had the sight like reversed or something like that, which was the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. But because I told Jess, I'm like, if you want to shoot left-handed, that's fine, but you need a left-handed bow. And I had to explain to her why that is because she's like, well, we already have, a bow. Why do that? I'm like, because the way that everything lines up, you're going to be like going over the string and then it isn't going to work. So
shoots left hand, and he may have at one time he had like the PSE decree or something left-handed, and I could reach out to him after this and just see if he has any
tips or anything.
Well, any left-handed bows like around
yeah.
that he's not using anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I told her maybe she should just get in a trad. The only problem is if she comes to TAC, you're not hitting anything.
No, not
you're aiming at the
70.
Yeah, you're aiming at the sky and hoping that you find your arrow afterwards because you're not hitting the target.
But
Not at 100. Oh, it'd be a ton of fun to watch, but expensive when we're done. I mean, I know Victory makes trad arrows, but I don't want to, one of their guys, Brandon's coming on in a couple weeks. I don't want to be like, hey, can I get 200 trad arrows because my wife's learning and
it's only 25 targets. So like an arrow a target.
I know that, but you know how hard trad is? Dude, it's tough. You've shot one, haven't you?
Yeah, a long time ago. That's my next thing.
Trad?
Yeah.
Well, I've got a bow behind me that's probably 60, 70 years old that I need to get restrung.
Probably going to know her, but
yeah, I would. I've thought about it just for fun, but I know how I am. And I know that if I got a trad bow and I got decent with it, I'd want to hunt with it. And then
I'm hunting with it.
I don't want to, I love compounds. I don't want to lose that or leave that.
It's food. I love stretching out to 100+ yards and shooting things. But
it is different.
Yeah.
It is a lot different. All right. Well, I want to change gears a little bit. So your deer season, you are, so for the people who don't know you, you're the reason that I got into hunting, right? Met you through Jessica because you've been friends with her for God knows how long. And
been friends with her.
Well, yeah, but by default. And I remember the very first time we went over to your house, right? And I didn't know you guys. Like I was a city kid, that liked hunting, but I didn't really know the culture or anything. And I walk in and one of the first things I see is deer on the wall. And I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, Josh, right? You hunt? And so we talked. I remember like the whole time about it. And then we made plans a year later, about 2 months after me and Jessica got married, to go hunt at your mom's place. And my first sit, you were there to see me kill my first deer. And all right, I want to ask you, like, what was that experience like for you? Because looking back, I felt like a child because I remember telling you right before those deer showed up, because we had a pretty interesting experience that day where there may have been some pot shots taken at a couple spikes. But
there was definitely some test pops.
Yeah, I've told that story a few times on here, and everybody finds it hilarious. But what was that like for you? Because like, I really had to pee that morning, and right before that buck showed up, I almost got out and was just going to be like, dude, I don't care, I've got to go. And then he shows up, and it's like, oh crap, it's game time.
And we had only been in the hunting blind for maybe 40 minutes at this point. And Eric leans over and goes, hey, I got to pee. Where do I do that?
I have a baby bladder.
Ain't here.
Yeah, I have a baby bladder. Now I'll just pee out of the tree stand. I don't even care. But I'm not gonna whip it out in the blind with you when we're like touching shoulders.
So
It actually was. I didn't think it was that bad. Dude, I've hunted in way colder now. Way colder.
I mean, every year I feel like, well, except for this past season. This past season sucked. It was hot this year. Yeah.
Where were you hunting?
Uh,
Because where I was at,
around
dude, there. So we're getting off topic
yeah.
here, but I did have a day where it was 35-mile-an-hour winds, gusts, and it was 40 degrees. That was cold. And I'll never do it again because I didn't see anything. Nothing even showed up for like 2 days because it was just consistent,
Yeah.
consistent, high winds like that. But anyway, what was that first sit with me like?
It was, to me, it was fun. I enjoyed it, and I was really excited for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that way when my kids go hunting. I get a little,
Was it almost like taking one of your kids hunting? Just because I had no clue what I, because remember, hold on, I need to give some context here because we talked about this, I think even before the wedding. And like we were talking a little bit because I wanted to get into it.
yeah,
And you had cameras over there and you had some giants, dude. Like you had some studs over on that
yeah.
property.
I'd love to have one more season over there.
Dude, you and me both. I mean, that is one of those places I drive by and I just smile because I'm like, dude, that is where it started, right?
Yeah,
But people need to know I was an arrogant little jerk, to put it nicely, in my opinion.
yeah,
Well, and here's why: because you, out of the kindness of your heart, where you were taking me to go hunt for the first time, right? You'd been putting food out. I never put food out. I did no work. I bought a gun. I sighted it into 25 yards, and that was it, right?
yeah,
And I remembered saying to you, it was like, man, what? Because you sent me a couple pictures of big deer, and all I had known about hunting at this point was Deer Hunter. That was literally my entire
yes.
childhood, right? Like
Still love
playing on the
that.
computer, Deer Hunter, and everything you shoot is 150 plus, except maybe a spike or two, right? So I was thinking that's what hunting was like because I'd watched Realtree road trips growing up and Tom Miranda, Bone Collector. I just started watching Seek One at this time, so they were shooting giants.
Yeah.
Yeah, they started in 2015, I think, something like that. Oh yeah, they've been around a long time. But so I have the impression of, oh, there's giants everywhere. I'm gonna step out there my first sit, not knowing what I'm doing, and I'm gonna kill a giant buck because little bucks don't exist, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what, and it was the rut. So I'm like, dude, it's perfect. And I knew nothing. Looking back, if I knew then what I know now, I probably still wouldn't have killed a big buck, but at least I would have felt a little more confident.
You'd have shot that same deer.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'd shoot that same deer now. He's somewhere. I think his sheds are right over there. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, yeah, they're over there. But not his sheds, but his rack.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I remember coming to you and saying, "Hey, Josh," and this shows for everybody listening, this shows how good of a dude you are. And this is before like you and I ever found our faith, right? So from the core, you were already like a big-hearted person, right? Because you're better than me. If the roles were switched and I was the one that had the property and especially back then, and you came to me and was like, dude, I want to go hunt. And I'm like, all right, cool. Well, this is what's here. And if you came to me and said, hey, do you care if I shoot these? I'd be like, let's not start with that
Yeah.
selfishly. But you didn't do that. You were like, dude, whatever shows up, shoot it.
And
And I mean, what?
I got I mean, back then I had buddies I'd go hunting with.
Mhm.
We had a couple shared properties that we hunted and it was all everything was all game, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to shoot it because me and him we'd split the cost on some corn. Maybe this time I would drive because it was a little bit of a drive back then.
Yeah.
We were going from Covington way out here all the way to Lilburn.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah, so
Wasn't that you and Corey?
mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
So we split it, and I even let him come over there and hunt the Conyers property a couple times. And I was sitting there, I was like, well, I mean, if I would do that for another buddy, why wouldn't
Yeah.
I do it for you?
It's just crazy, man. Like, because the hunting community, it's not like that. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
lot of people that
I mean, it's what I've told you many a times. I'm going to go find another deer.
Yeah.
It may be a struggle some years. Some years, I get pictures of some deer. And I only may get a handful of pictures of a deer, and it's like, yep, that's who I'm after, and
Yeah. And then he just doesn't
it just
show up,
doesn't show up.
which seems to be the Georgia deer way.
Which is,
That's
all part of the cat and mouse.
yeah.
You know,
Well, and that's what makes it fun, and like I just it's so funny though, like thinking back how not arrogant, but just uneducated on the whole system
you didn't
that I
think about
was.
it back then. It was humbling for
Oh
sure.
yeah. And that was the best pee that I've ever had. I'll tell you that right now. That to this day is still one of the most relieving moments of my life. Seeing that buck on the ground and being like, oh, I can finally go. But yeah, dude. I mean, I just have to say thank you because this right here, this whole thing, everything you see in here, all this, the podcast, this wouldn't happen if it wasn't for you. Like we would not be here if you did not let me come
You
do
got
that.
here. You,
Yeah, but I wouldn't have had the same because the way I always thought like um once again using the word arrogant, right? Because I feel like I can get that way a lot. Um I've always said, oh, well, my first sit, I killed a buck. I listen to guys on other podcasts or people that come on here and they're like, dude, it took me 15 years to kill a buck.
it took
And
me a few years as
exactly,
well.
exactly. And so, like, because I'm competitive, I get in my head, I'm like, oh, well, I killed a buck my first sit. I'm going to be the next Andre DeQuisto, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I was thinking when I first started. And killed a buck that year. Kind of struggled. Had some giants on camera over at Steve and Christina's place back when they lived over by your
You
mom.
shot you, you shot him at 9 points?
Well, so I was getting to that. So that first year had giants on camera, never saw one. And really learned. I mean, I sprayed.
That's what really humbles you.
Yes, yeah, and because I'd go into the woods thinking like, dude, I'm gonna kill anything. Like I'm gonna kill these deer. You put corn out, they're
I'd
gonna be
sit
there.
get pictures of them every day
Yeah,
for 4 days straight
and then
in
you go
daylight.
in and nothing,
Yeah,
and
it's
it's
in your favor and everything else. It's
exactly.
just like I said, it's a cat and mouse game to a lot of people that don't know it.
Yeah.
It it's a very big mental game.
Oh yeah. And we'll get to that. We will get to that because I have brought that up many times on here, and I feel like you could give a lot of insight to that. But yeah, and then like the following year I killed two bucks, tagged out. One of them's behind me, another one's right there. Which you again were involved in those, both of them. You came and helped me drag that little 5 point out, and then you actually because I didn't know what I was doing and probably didn't have time at the time. You held that deer for me, and then I can't remember. Did you quarter him out too, or we both did that? Like I came over one night and we did that, right? Or
Was
no?
that the deer you dropped off at my
Yes,
house?
yes. I don't remember. I don't think that you did it yourself. I'm pretty sure I came over and did it.
Did you?
I think, or we
Think
did it
maybe.
together.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I
yeah.
did
You just
because
cut the meat up
yes,
and everything.
because you and me and the girls were hanging out in the garage and
Yeah,
they were talking about whatever, and we were doing
in
that.
that hot garage with all them fish tanks.
Oh, dude, you and your fish, John.
I'm a man of a
The
hundred
man of many
hobbies.
talents. Oh man, that's funny. Sorry, I need to make sure. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, so what I'm getting at is you have been in a very like integral point of my hunting life.
I mean, like all it is just kindness to somebody that's willing to learn something.
Yeah.
You know, it's a tradition I plan to pass down to my kids, hopefully my grandkids one day.
Yeah. When you've set a good example, like I look to what you've done when it comes down to me now having new people come up. I mean, I've got a buddy that, just started hunting a few years ago, and I always look to what you did with me that now I can put towards him.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy, man. Like I said, a lot of people in the community, they don't do that. If they've got a big deer on camera, they don't tell anyone, and you and I don't mean to glaze you this whole podcast, but I need to give the flowers when they're due. That you even basically gave me this spot that you killed a very, very nice 8 point on 2 years ago. that has some of the best potential I've ever seen. And I don't know anyone else that would do that because I mean, there was 8 shooter bucks on that property last year, and you not once, not one time did you say, "Hey, I'm gonna go hunt over there and kill them."
except for turkeys.
Well, I don't care about turkeys. I can't stand turkeys, man. Um, but no, that's a testament to who you are, right? And like, so I want to ask you this, and we're gonna get a little personal here, okay? Because you and I have gone through pretty similar stuff with when it comes to this. So when we first met, you were, and I was in the same boat. We knew about Jesus, but I don't feel like we had a relationship with him,
Yeah.
a real relationship, right? You now have completely turned that around. And I'm curious what changes you've seen him do in your life when it comes down to pretty much everything because like I've seen it in you, right? You were already a super nice, goofy dude, right?
Yeah.
Now you're even 10 times more than that. Like I see the things that you're doing and I'm like that's the perfect example of like what a good Christian dude's supposed to be, right? So I mean like what have you seen him do in your life that maybe some of us don't see?
Really? Like I've learned a lot of patience, and in a lot of aspects of life.
Mhm.
With my kids, I learn I'm a little bit more patient with them.
Yeah.
Hunting, I'm a little bit more patient. I'm not, and, kind of like you. Growing up, it's like, oh yeah, dude, if I call them, they're coming.
Yeah.
I mean, you should know that. Our first hunt, it's like, yeah, man, dude, just wait. I'm gonna call them and they're coming.
I still have not had any experience like that since. So I could argue that because I have called and called. The last year I called in was that one right
Yeah,
there.
you know,
Took me 5 more years.
hey, look, some years the calls work,
Yeah.
and some years it don't. But it's like, I I may have rattled 5 times this past year, maybe a couple more. I don't know, but it's like, you know what? I just want to be in the presence of,
Yeah.
what he created.
Yeah.
And, I'll sit there and watch a deer in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah.
And
As long as it's not
I got,
180.
yeah, no,
I'm kidding.
but I watched some really decent bucks this year.
Yeah.
And it's fun to watch their behavior and, get to learn kind of what they do. And, like that kind of patience has really shown me like a deer's behavior, like how they move through the woods.
Yeah.
Like they don't just, I ain't gonna say they not all the time, but sometimes they're gonna move all around you.
Yeah.
And he's gonna work a circle around you, and it's just he may not come in right away. And I don't know. It's like I said, just patience with it. And I told you about patience, and it may not have been you. It may have been Corey. I started doing this years ago, just not rushing shots on deer with a bow.
Oh, we have had that conversation. I
Yeah.
know we have because I have been the worst of it when it comes to that. So
Yeah,
I know that we've had that talk before.
that buck may come in that I want to shoot, and if he doesn't present me the shot that I feel comfortable with taking, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty comfortable with a good bit of the shots, but I like I like to see a perfect shot on
Yeah.
deer, and I aim for that every time I shoot him with the bow. And if I don't get that shot,
Well, and sometimes you get that shot and then we have to track it for a mile because coyotes
that
and
one was
arrows do weird things, I still
that
don't
was
understand
the
that.
craziest shot.
I still don't understand how that happened. When
Yeah.
we found that deer and I saw that you hit him perfect, but then right in the middle of his chest, it deflected. I don't even see how an arrow bends that way.
Well, no, either.
That's
But
insane.
that was the first time I'd ever seen that.
Yeah.
Like, when I called you, I was like, dude, he's dead.
Oh,
He
yeah.
is dead 100%.
Well, and you told
Like,
me where you hit him, and it's like, I think if I remember right, we did find blood and it looked
yeah,
good, but then it ran out. And what was really funny,
he got out there in that high grass.
well, that's what's even funnier about it is like, I remember us going looking for, dude, that was a terrible night for me and Jess. Oh my God, she was so mad. I understand why. I'm not going to go into the details, but let's just say I felt bad. I still feel bad. But yeah, we show up and we find like a good spot of blood and kind of looking around.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's funny knowing that property now, but I didn't then. And I'm thinking, because it's dark,
Uh-huh.
and I'm not saying I'm still afraid of the woods at night like I used to be back when I first started, but it doesn't mean I like them.
Yeah.
And I remember going through and you were 50 yards down the other side and I'm over here standing in the dark by myself with my little my little phone light and I'm like, dude, there could be a dang skinwalker right here and I'm not even going to know it. And now knowing the property, obviously it's nothing.
Yeah.
But what was funny is, we found that spot and then we're looking around, we don't find anything. We even go out into the field and
Uh-huh.
we find nothing. And then we get the dog tracker, Caleb,
Uh-huh.
and
And we
we
had just
walked right
walked
past it.
right, stepped right over blood.
Yeah, we walked literally right past it. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
That was one of
how?
the most humbling experiences.
Yeah,
Like I had just about gave up hope on finding that deer.
I remember. It was like what, 10? Because we started tracking about, because that's the night that I saw, oh my God, what was his name? How am I forgetting his name? Oh, Trike.
Truck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the night that I saw Trike twice and was about to swan dive off the tree stand. And then you call me and I'm like, all right, well, give me 15 more minutes. And got down, whatever. So I got down at about 7:45 and I got to you probably 8:15. I think it was like 10 o'clock before Caleb even showed up and we
Mhm.
found that blood and then we tracked for another 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I wish I could go into full detail on the whole story, but it's probably better we don't. All I'm gonna say is we found the deer,
Yes.
and it's crazy to
And I
know.
look
Like,
at that deer every day.
oh, I bet you do, and you're just like, you son of a why?
Gave me a run all
Oh
the way
yeah,
to the very
we
end.
burnt some calories,
Yeah,
that's for
for
sure.
sure.
But no, I want to. I'm curious though, like outside of hunting, where have you seen the Lord working? Because like, I like you said, patience, right? One thing I've seen is mercy and forgiveness that I have since I've really dove deep into it. That has been the one thing. Like, I'll give an example with Tiffany. She's 10 years old now. She's getting a little spicy,
Uh-huh.
those preteen ages and stuff. And there was a moment a couple weeks ago that I was trying to get her to try a dress on for Easter. And like, it's not a big thing, right? You're just trying something on and it'll take 30 seconds. You try it on, it looks good. Okay, take it off, go put your regular clothes on. Well, she's fighting me on it. I mean, straight up fighting for no reason. And I'm getting mad. I'm getting annoyed. I'm like, dude, I'm here to pick you up. We need to go. It's 5 o'clock. Like, we need to make dinner, all that other stuff. Why aren't you doing it? And she broke down. And I felt a switch happen. I don't know if it was God, kind of tapping me on the shoulder, being like, hey, try this way. Or if I just realized, like, oh, wait, she's 10, hormones.
Hmm.
I need to go about this differently. Immediately switched it up and was just loving. Dude, fixed all the problems. And I'd never done that before, like I wasn't that person.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if you've seen something like that in your life. You said patience.
Yeah.
Um,
And I'm with you. Kindness and compassion. I mean, I'm compassionate to a lot of less fortunate.
yeah.
Not all, because you know me, I travel all over Georgia.
Oh yeah.
I'm in Atlanta all the time, and
Yeah, you and I both probably see, I'm just gonna
I've seen
say
the
it
good
like
and bad side of it.
exactly. Yeah, like I I wasn't even gonna I wasn't even gonna bring this up because I really, how it says in the Bible, don't let your left hand know what your right hand's doing.
Mhm.
But to make the point, I'll bring it up. Monday, when we went to the hospital, I was driving through Athens. There was this homeless guy on the side of the road, right? And I'm big on like God's in everything. He's working in everything,
Oh yeah.
right? I mean, you might think that like your idea is your idea. It's probably not,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to helping other people.
Oh yeah.
So there's this dude at the red light, and I've been for weeks praying, like, dude, I want to help more people, right? I'm not saying this to be like, oh, look at me, I'm this great person.
Mhm.
Believe me, I'm not.
Uh-huh.
Like, I am not. When it comes down to a picture perfect Christian, I'm not there.
Yeah.
However, I see this guy and it's 85 degrees out or whatever, and I always get drinks every day for work. Well, I'm in the work van, and
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I want to help this dude. I don't have any money. I see he's got a sign that says homeless, anything helps, trying to get to such and such. And I look over, I'm like, I doubt he's gonna want that. So then I'm red light still. I look over again, I'm like, yeah, he probably I want to, you know, I was gonna give him a drink. Like I've got a couple of Powerades and stuff. I'm like, dude, it's hot. They're cold. It'll help. It's something. But I was like, man, what if I roll this window down and he, was like, oh man, if your drink, I just want, I don't, because you and I have dealt with people like that. And the third time, it was almost like God was in my ear, was like, give him the drink. And so I was like, all right. So I just rolled the window down. I was like, hey, dude. I was like, look, I don't have any money. I was like, but it's hot out. I got a couple. You want something to drink? And I gave him a Powerade, and he was extremely grateful for it. I wouldn't have done that 2, 3 years ago. And it's like you said, compassionate. Like, it's just, I think it's still a little foreign to me because, like, I've
Yeah, I
never
mean,
been that guy, you
I,
know?
most days especially in the summertime, I'm gonna have a cooler in the back of my truck.
Yeah.
It's gonna be loaded down with a case of waters, maybe a couple of energy drinks, maybe a soda or two, and Gatorades.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, hey man,
Go
coolers in
grab
the back,
one.
grab what you want.
Dude. I,
And
I feel like more people need to be like that. Like I saw some guys today that on the way home, over off of Wesley Chapel,
yeah,
and it broke my heart. Like I used to see them and be like, oh God, these guys. Now I see them, and it almost brings me to tears every time because like I don't want anybody to be living a life like
man,
that,
I'm the sucker for
It.
the dude that has the dog.
Oh yeah, if I see a dog, I'm like, all right,
Now it's like, here, take my burger too, and give it to the dog, and grab you and him some drinks.
Jessica, I got to tell you what she said just now. Sorry, it's total. I probably need to text her back. Um, You know what? I'm gonna say it on here. She just, she just texted me, right? Um, she's going to look at that house,
Yeah,
and she she's gonna kill me if she listens to this. Um, she's going to look at that house tonight. So I told her you were coming over, and we were doing this podcast and everything. And I was like, "Hey, Josh is on the way. I might be able to make it. I'll let you know." And then I think it was like 5:30 or something, and you still weren't
yeah.
here. So I was like, "Okay, maybe not because Josh isn't here yet." And whatever. And she just texted me back. She goes, "I forgot he was coming in person. Please tell me you sprayed or something and got that gerbil smell out of the house." For those who don't know, we have a pug. Okay. And she likes to sometimes poop on the floor. And I'm not the best cleaner. The house to me doesn't smell like a gerbil, but
Dogs too. So
okay. So did you catch any?
no,
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna tell her that I did. Um,
tell you did spray.
yeah,
Say I cleaned. Everything is spotless too.
yeah. Except I'm pretty sure there's still some poop up there I need to pick up. So God, I hope she doesn't listen to this. But anyway, back on track. Yeah, I just, because I've gotten plugged in now to one of the churches out in Soul Circle, and to see the change in not just myself, but Jessica. Because, she's the reason that I even like got to know Christ better.
I always feel like it's the wife.
Dude, yeah. I mean, when her and I met, I used to cuss like a sailor, which I still can, but there's certain things I don't say. Um, GD was one of my favorite things to say. It was. I didn't, because to me, I'm like, oh, I'm not taking his name in vain. You
Yeah,
kind of are,
yeah.
And that was the turning point or the beginning of it where she's like, I'm not going to be around you if you talk like that. And so that changed. And then I was like, well, why? So then I started looking into it more. And then, what is it, 8, 9 years later, here I am. And then we got plugged into that church. And I mean, the change I've seen in her, because she's a firecracker, man. Like, her road rage is something else. And I've seen her be able to sort of bring that back. And like, I've seen that change in her where she's not really getting as upset on the road, right? She's always been super forgiving, like gives me a good example of how to be. And I mean, Tisha, was she the one that kind of got you guys, started on the journey to church or getting
So
a closer relationship?
my son, when he was 3, 4 years old, he asked my wife before we put him down for bed,
No, is this Jasper or
Jesus,
is this Chance?
Jasper.
Jasper, okay.
He was like, who's Jesus? Who's God?
Really?
And, my wife grew up in church. I grew up in church
Yeah.
all the way up until,
There's a
we conceived a child.
there's a difference though in growing up in church and having a relationship with
Yeah.
them. There's
Yeah.
a huge difference because we know a lot of people that, oh, I go to church every Sunday. And then next thing you know, you're driving around and you see them drunk or
Yeah.
something getting arrested because they were out of the bar Saturday night,
Uh-huh.
and there's nothing wrong with the drink, but like there, Jesus said, my people by their fruits.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, and there's no judgment there, but that's my point. Like you can tell. So
Yeah.
anyway,
So he asked the question, and both me and my wife couldn't answer it like fully as to who Jesus and God was. So the only next best thing we know is take them to church, put them in
Sunday school, let
Sunday
them
school,
figure it
put
out.
'em in ministry, and
Yeah.
let him learn for himself who he is, what he is, and what he does for us.
Oh,
So, and now here we are,
was it like 4 years?
7, 8 years.
Has it been that? No, it
Yeah.
couldn't have been that long.
It's been that long.
Were you guys going to church when I first met you? I don't think you were.
We started going to church in 2019.
Holy crap. Really?
Yeah,
Maybe we just didn't talk about it then.
maybe not.
Yeah, because I remember seeing, so like from my perspective, we were all very similar, right? And I don't think you and I have ever actually talked about this. This is going to be interesting. Um, we were all very similar, right? You and I used to drink some beers and stuff when we'd hang out. The girls would have wine because, dainty. And
Yeah, I remember
yeah,
going to the bars and stuff.
we went to Athens and had a grand old time.
Yeah,
There was a lot of things I saw that now I wouldn't even go in that setting anymore. Um,
that ain't even as bad as some of the ones I've been to at the beach.
well, trust me, dude. My drinking days, that Athens night was nothing compared to that. But anyway, we were doing that, and then there was a change, and I remember, yeah, I want to say it was like 6 years ago, maybe even less than that. Because, well, and again, maybe you guys weren't talking about it, but what I saw was me and Jess came over one time, and like Tisha was telling us all about how you guys are going to church now, and she's giving her life back to God, and like I saw a major change in her, and then I saw the major change in you.
Yeah,
So I feel like you guys, like, I look at you as like my older brother, right? When it comes down to a lot of things in life. And because you've set the example, you with hunting, you've set that example. Like, you are the guy I brag about to people on here that I'm like, I don't know what it is about him, but he's the Covington version of Lee Ellis. This dude finds giant deer all the time. And,
it's gonna be fishing. Yeah.
well, just don't put any lead weights in them. That's very frowned upon from what I hear. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But no, and then like, you guys started hitting church more, and you and I had conversations, me and Tisha had conversations, and even some arguments. There were some things that I would say debates, arguments, friendly conversation, whatever. Um and it's just led me to really have a more genuine type of faith because of the example that you guys have set, and other people too,
Yeah.
right? But like I see you guys more, or talk to you more than most other people, I would say, and I don't know. It's just I love seeing like the story that you guys have.
Yeah, and you said like our faith and how it has impacted you. The old saying, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village of people, a community of people to
Yeah.
raise you up into Christ. I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, and
I got friends at the church that I probably wouldn't made it as far as I have
if it wasn't for them.
church or in my faith
Yeah.
without them.
Well, and that was, so I always had the mentality of like my relation, because this is the way I was raised, right? My relationship with God is personal, and I'm gonna do my own way. I literally used to be the guy that would say, "Oh, my church is the woods," right? And I get where people come from with that, but if you read the book and you understand the book, nowhere in there does it say, go get in a tree and worship me. It
Yeah.
doesn't say that. It says, be around my people. Like, my people gather together. Where two of them are, I am also.
Yeah.
And
the saying, iron sharpens iron.
exactly. And so, like, I had to really sort of learn. Sorry, I'm just making sure she's not blowing my phone up. I really had to learn, like, you know, the church is a necessity. Yeah, okay. I do feel closer to God when I'm in the woods,
Yeah.
right? I do because I get to see his creation. I know that, heaven's not just going to be us sitting in a pew and an altar all day and worshiping and doing that. Like, I know that's not what it is. There's going to be animals there. There's going to be woods there. Now, can we hunt? Probably not. I'll probably be,
Reality or my thought on it is like, dude, if I could just have a deer stand in heaven and a Nerf bow
yeah,
where I
yeah,
hit
yeah,
them
yeah,
and
yeah.
I get hits them, it's like,
And then they look at you and they're like, really, Josh? Again? It's the 10th time this week. See,
come to the corn pile.
yeah, you'll do that, and I'll be the one that's snuggling the 250-inch deer, just like, all right, Brutus, what are we doing today? But no, man, it's just it 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 changes you, and I say that every week on this podcast, because I always talk about Jesus in the beginning, in the
Yeah.
intro, and I just tell people if you don't know who he is, you don't know what you're missing out on,
Yeah,
and like,
once upon a time I used to say, well, what's it gonna hurt if you go to church?
yeah,
The church ain't gonna catch on fire. Give it a try.
yeah. I used to be even worse than that and say that I hated going to church. I mean, truly, I used to think everybody was fake. I used to think that like, it was all
All for the church's gain type
yes.
deal. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and this brings up a good point. Unfortunately, especially in the South, I'm sure it's like this other places, but I know it's in the South. A lot of places, a lot of churches. I'm not saying ours because
Yeah.
I've been to yours. I know mine's not like this, but I've been to churches where you have that
Mm-hmm.
person that goes and they will judge the crap out of you.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. They'll judge the crap out of you. But what were they doing the night before?
Yeah.
They're at Sean O'Brien's getting drunk. They're cheating on their wife. They're
Uh-huh.
beating their wife. You know what I'm saying? Like there's people that go that think I can do whatever I want during the week, but then I go to church on Sunday and I'm fine.
Yeah.
Now, I don't understand God's grace like fully,
I don't either.
but
I learned that whenever I get to heaven. But I'm with you, the judgmental, we tried some churches.
yeah, that's why
before
we didn't have one.
landed where we are,
Yeah.
I got tattoos. I got a lot of tattoos.
Yeah.
A lot
Try
of
going
them.
to a Southern Baptist church with tattoos
That
and a
was
long
a
beard and
couple of
everything.
tattoo, and I told Tisha, I was like, I ain't doing this.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't dress up for much.
I don't either.
T-shirt, jeans, khaki shorts, pretty fancy for me.
Yeah.
And so, when we started going to our church, first few people that were like, "Hey, man, I'm glad you come. Welcome," was the pastor,
Yeah.
and the senior pastor. And they didn't look at me crazy or
Yeah. They were just happy you were
put me on
there.
some kind of watch list.
Mhm.
Hey, y'all
Yeah.
keep an eye
Watch
out
this
for-"
guy.
Yeah. So, like I said, if you're trying to or wanting to become a Christian, try a few churches.
Yeah.
Not every church is for everybody.
Yeah. You can even try a few different denominations.
Yeah,
That's what I was doing.
Non-denominational.
Oh, really? I didn't know
It's
that.
a Christian church.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
And
I thought it was a Baptist church.
nope.
Interesting.
And y'all can come rock out on Sunday morning with us because a live band will get
Oh, it's gnarly.
everybody.
It's gnarly, dude. I remember we went once and if it was closer, I think we'd probably go there. But I that is the thing, like, the church that we're at, they so okay, the church is down the street from our house. I'm not going to say the name because I don't want to call them out.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, by the elementary school.
Yeah.
I used to love going there, but it had that clicky feel to it. You know what I'm saying? You walk in, everybody's in a group. If you're new, no one really talks to you. They say, "Hey, we're happy you're here," but you can tell that it's fake, right?
Yeah.
And we knew the pastor, and he's awesome. I love that dude, but it's different, So we didn't go for a long time, and then I've been praying because I had my own way of doing it. Like I read the Bible a lot.
Uh-huh.
I'd pray a lot. I had a relationship with Jesus. I just didn't have a church to go to. And I was praying for probably a year straight that we would find something and that, you know, I wanted to see my family get closer to him. Like I wanted Tiffany to sort of try and start a relationship with him. I wanted Jessica to get her relationship back in a more obvious way than just saying, "Oh yeah, I believe I'm saved," all this other stuff, and if I'm not, then I'm not.
Yeah.
And Dude, this goes to how God works because it's the craziest thing, but he made it pretty obvious what he was doing because, and I think I told you this story, but maybe the people listening don't know. Jess was taking the girls to school one morning and she drove past our church and they had people out there with coffee and donuts and they were all dancing around and like everyone's in a great mood. And Jess didn't even know that church was there. We were supposed to go try out another one
Yeah.
that's in Social Circle. And she just happened to drive past this place. And so it caught her eye. And then normally what she does is she'll go down that road, drop the kids off, and then go back through town. Right. But this time she went back the way she came because she was like, I really want to check that church out. Dude, I literally cried when she called me and said, I found this amazing church. They have these amazing people. I really want to go this Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, of all the prayers I've ever answered, that's one of like the top five.
Yeah.
And so again, at the time I was trying to figure out like which way is the true way. Right? Because I want to do it right. Is Catholicism the right way? Is Orthodoxy the right way? Is Protestantism, which is what you and I would be considered, is that the right way? And so I go into this church and I had a chip on my shoulder because I'm looking for everything that could be wrong. I don't want to go to a church that's teaching false stuff. I don't, are there going to be fake people there? Is it going to be the same thing as every other church we've been to? And we walk in and immediately, these people don't know us from Adam. Immediately, they are asking us how we are. They're super happy we're there. There was a guy that I guess knew Jessica from when she was a kid, and she was like, "Oh, hey, squirrel!" And apparently, her Jeep is famous in Social Circle now because she has squirrels all over it, and it just became a family. And like that is one of those things that I feel like it's very, very difficult to find these days. That you and I both have found with where we go, because I feel like our churches are pretty similar.
Yeah. So the Southern Baptist ain't the way for everybody. You have to realize the times that are coming up. We're all new generations, and there's other generations that are coming up.
Yeah.
It's nice for a church to kind of, I'm going to say, break the chains of like the old Bible beaten ways.
Yeah. Well, and like again in the South, the way I've seen it, having been, yes, I was raised here, but my family's not from here, right? I feel like the general idea of what, you know, the Southern Christian would be is like hypocritical. Because I can name some people right now that you and I both know that they're the biggest hypocrites I've ever met. They'll sit there and tell me I'm doing my faith wrong and everything, and then that their way is the right way, and then they'll say some of the most racist, outlandish stuff that I've ever heard, and I'm like, hold on a minute, like you can't do that, and it kind of just put a chip on my shoulder a little bit,
Hey, Bible verse, about the splinter in your eye,
Yeah.
the log in mine out.
Don't point out the speck in your brother's eye until you pull out the log in your own. Yeah. Well, and that I think, when I was trying to figure out like what route I wanted to go, like what the true way is, I constantly, every single night was praying about it. And I don't know if I told you this story or not. I'm not going to go into full detail because it'd take 30 minutes, but I got a little sick one night and I mean, fever, I don't know if you've ever had crazy dreams when you have a fever or anything like that. Okay. So I always have, dude, I've always had the weirdest dreams and I don't know why. And so I fall asleep kind of. So basically what it was is I was trying to go to sleep and I'd close my eyes and like, when you're asleep but you're still awake, you're aware of everything. Well, that happened and I woke up 5 times this night, and then I'd go back to sleep and I never fully fell asleep. What happened was I'd get to that point where it's like I'm asleep and I'm aware, and then I was in like this weird, I felt like I was dreaming, but I was in like this really long golden hallway, right? And I'm like, where am I? And I look up and there's like this blue, like a deep ocean blue, glass ceiling that's got like water flowing through it and like there's electricity and stuff. It was crazy, right? And I was like, what is going on? I was like, I have to be dreaming. Well, I turn around and I'm, walking down the hallway a little bit and this guy is standing there. I don't recognize him. I mean, I'm sure you can probably guess who it was, but I see this dude. I was like, hey, where am I? He's like, do you want to see more of this? I'm like, yeah, sure. Why not? So
To hold your hand.
yeah, I was like, where's the door? And yeah, so then we end up in this field. And like, have you ever seen a sunrise or a sunset when the sky is like deep, deep blue and the sun's just coming up, but it's not like right, bright, up over the horizon yet, but it's just a deep blue.
Yeah.
That's what the sky looked like. And this, it looked like a wheatgrass field or something. And I mean, just the most beautiful place I've ever seen. I need to watch that movie.
Go ahead. Keep
Okay.
going.
I was trying to think of like, maybe. Um, but yeah, so I'm there and I'm with this guy and I see like if you can imagine like kind of like our arrows, right? I see something like that, but it's light and it's like shooting up. And I ask him, I'm like, what are those? He's like, oh, those are prayers. I'm like, oh, okay, makes sense. And I'll explain why. Like I do have reasons for why I believe that this was a real legitimate thing. But so we're walking through, and this dude that I was with points out this mountain. He's like, "Hey, I want to show you something." I was like, "All right, cool." So we just like that. We're at the top of the mountain, and I look over the mountain, and on the other side of the mountain there was this like wasteland, right? Just smoke, fire, people suffering, and all this stuff. And what's down there making the people suffer looks like what you would think a demon looks like. And so I look over and I'm like terrified. I'm like, what is this? And I turn around and I realize now that this person who's been with me is Jesus. Like I could show you a picture that this guy made that he used AI to make it, but he took the Shroud of Turin, which is the burial cloth that has Jesus's image on it that they can't figure out how that happened. He took that, did a 3D or not a 3D, AI rendition of what the guy looked like that was wrapped in this, like the image that's on there, spitting image of this guy to a T. Everything is the same. And I'm like, Lord, what is going on? And he's like, go look over the side. See, what do you see? And so I look over and I see all this stuff. Well, when I start looking, what I guess you would call demons see me and they're like, hey, hey, you need to come down here with us. Like, what are you doing up there? We got everything down. You can do whatever you want down here. And I'm like, what? And so I turn around again. I'm like, what is happening? And he's like, you need to make a decision. Either you can go down there, you can go do that, go down there, do whatever you want, live the life that you want, or you can come with me. And I took one step over just to look because I'm a curious person. Because I'm like, dude, this is nuts. And I turned around and I was like, nope, going with you. And then so it's a very long story, and I will get to the main point of why I brought this up. We end up going to this city that's like made out of like there's buildings and there's tons of people around. Every single building's made out of what looks like pearl, like it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I asked him, and I'm like, Lord, what what's the right way? I was like, because I'm trying to figure out what direction to go and which I guess denomination's the true one that you started. And he's like, tradition matters. It's very important. He's like, but what I'm really after is a relationship. That's what I want. He's like, and when he said that, I was like, oh, well, that makes perfect sense. I'm like, but why like I can't understand the level of love that you have for the people that turn away from you, that, like totally disregard everything you say. They don't even believe in you. They think you're some myth or something. And he's like, my love for all of humanity, everybody.
Yeah.
He's like, think about how big the universe is. You know how the universe is still expanding
Uh-huh.
and they say that they can see it still growing. He's like, my love for you goes from one edge of the universe to the other side. He's like, and what do you get from that? I'm like, well, it's growing. I'm like, because the universe is growing. So if your love goes from one side to the other, that means it's consistently still going. And he goes, exactly. And so that there's still some more things
Yeah.
from that, but I wake up and I'm like, dude, what just happened? And so I immediately get on my phone and I look at that picture I told you about. And that's how I basically confirmed, like, okay, this wasn't a dream because it was clear. I've dreamt before. I know what dreams feel like. This was not that. And that showed me that like the most important thing is a relationship with them. And if we were to go to churches and, you know, they're like, I've been to one where they were saying that the teenagers in the front row, they called them out and they're like, if you live in immorality, and if you're sexually immoral and blah blah blah, you're gonna burn in hell. Not once did he teach repentance or
Yeah.
forgiveness or mercy or grace or any of that. Now I almost stood up and was like, "Hey, pastor, you're missing about half that message, buddy." But I didn't because I'd embarrass Jessica. And I don't know. I guess to circle it all around, it's just I love what I've seen him do for you guys and to hear it from your perspective, like, because I don't know, I don't know the daily struggles that you guys have. Mine, but
Hey, to the fullest. I don't know about
well,
you.
that's what I'm saying though, is like we all got struggles, right? Like no matter how strong our faith is, dude, the devil's still gonna try and get at us. He does it to me every single day. There's always something that
Yeah.
that pops up, and it's like, you know, hey, you gonna fall to this? Some days you do, some days you don't, you
Yeah.
know?
I mean, not every day is a cakewalk or,
Yeah.
just an easy day. Everybody has their ups and downs in life.
So
I just,
to
how
that
you,
point, I want to, I'm going to circle it back to hunting, right? Because I feel like we just did an entire Christian podcast, which is great. But like, I want to sort of mesh the two together and see where you stand with this. So like, when you have the rough years, right? Like men's mental health is extremely important. We don't talk about it enough. And I'm curious, how do you every time, like when you have those rough seasons, how do you get up out of bed every hunt and be like, I'm gonna go, even though this season has been complete crap, I'm still gonna go. And I'm gonna hope that something good happens. Like, how do you get through that?
I mean, and deer hunting world, things can flip in seconds, and it could be the rut could be on. I have a set date that I believe the rut is here in Middle Georgia.
It's October 25th.
Yes, but I mean, but beyond that, I have the extreme passion, love, and respect for deer.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I harvest deer. That doesn't mean I don't love them.
Yeah.
I like when I said I'll sit there majority of the days and watch them. I mean,
Oh, you've sent me plenty of videos, and I'm like, why aren't you shooting them? You're
and
like, I just want to watch them.
yeah, I mean, it's just like I said, a respect, a love, and I mean, I remember times, coming up hunting, I may only see one or two deer that season,
Yeah.
and
That's the life
best
I'm living
believe
right now.
them one or two deer that season were
Shot.
shot and in the
Yeah.
freezer. Now I I say the population has grown over the years. I mean, it definitely has
Yeah.
because I have some spots I hunt and it'll be nonstop action. And but there's others I hunt and it's like I'm after one deer particularly. Just never know.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what drives you. And like I said, it's a mental game.
Yeah.
You can't go into it like, yep, this is the day.
Yeah. Because you never know.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, you could have a deer showing up, every single day. We've had this where they'll daylight 5 days in a row, and you're like, all right, on the sixth day,
yeah.
I'm going.
Well, I
And then
mean,
nothing.
I say that, but remember this past season,
Okay, that's
I
that's an exception. All
I
right. I
told
want to
them,
talk about this buck, dude, because you you have a gift. You really do have a gift. That's 2 years in a row that you've killed really nice deer. And actually, I think since I've met you, you've killed a nice buck every single year. And nice is a general term, right? It's relative.
yes,
But you've killed a 130. What was he? 132, 134, or something like that.
132.
You've killed multiple 120s. I mean, you've had 150s on camera. Like you've been on them. I I I wonder if that's not the right way to put it. The way I look at it is like some of us, and you've been doing this a long time, like you've got way more years in this than I do. And I just wonder if some of us are more inclined to have big deer walk in front because I've done exactly what you've done. I called you last year. I was like, all right, Josh, these deer are not daylighting. What do you do over here? What? Because it was my first full year hunting that place. And I was like, what do I need to do? And you said, put out corn a couple of days before or the day of, and then go sit. I did every single thing you said. And I think the
Yeah.
biggest deer I saw was a spike.
Well, like I said, every year they switch up.
Yeah.
It's just the pattern I noticed last year or the year before. There was a buck I was after, and you called him Deadeye,
Yeah. Oh, one eye Willie.
and it seemed like 30 minutes after I put corn out, he was there.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right,
Now, is that during the summertime or is that going into early season
that was
or both?
a little bit both, yeah.
Okay.
And so, I generally would feed the Friday and hunt Saturday. Well, this particular day, it was right there around a hurricane. It had
It
been
was the
storming.
day the hurricane came
Yeah.
through
It,
and left.
it
Like
was
we knew
storming.
those deer were going to be moving, man. I
Yeah.
mean, I saw every single deer on that property, including trike. I mean, every single deer showed up
Yeah.
that day. So yeah, those are, I guess those types of days are a little different,
Yeah.
because you just know.
Like I said, the pattern, I was like, all right, today I'm going to switch up. I can go put feed out.
Yeah.
I can go, put my bags or trash or whatever back in the truck. I can grab my bow. I can go sit.
Yeah.
And sure enough, Deadeye, he came out, and then right behind him, the other buck that
Big eight.
I was
Yeah.
hunting came in,
Man.
and I totally whiffed this one. I had my video recorder there
Oh,
with me.
that, yeah.
I turned it on, never hit record, and I'm over here like zooming in. Like, oh yes, dude, this is gonna be some of the best footage
That's why you need one of those painted arrow bow mounts. So you can stick your
so expensive.
$40.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude,
I mean, granted, that one was on sale.
I was gonna
I
say,
got it for 30.
Last year it was like 80.
I think it was 60.
Uh,
I don't know.
anyways.
Either way.
But so this past season,
Oh God.
This
Yeah.
deer-
This past season, bro.
this I would have never thought twice about this deer. When I first saw him the first couple times, I was like, "Oh, okay, that's a nice 8." What really piqued my interest was like the week leading up of deer season, where he was still holding full velvet.
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, I've never shot a buck in full velvet."
Yeah.
I was like, if he holds it opening morning, I'm gonna shoot him.
Yeah.
The-
Because he was showing up in your backyard
Yeah.
like consistently.
It
I
was
mean,
every day, 30 minutes before the sun come down, 30 minutes after the
Dude.
sun come up.
so crazy.
And so the day before, opening day, which was that Friday,
Yeah.
he was still in full velvet. And I told myself, I'm killing him in the morning. I was 95% sure I was killing him the
Yeah.
next day. I I did the same thing I'd been doing all week. I went outside, I crunked my truck up, did all that fun stuff
To make him think that
to make them think
you were
that,
leaving.
The schedule's the same.
Yeah.
Cut my truck off, went and sat in the deer stand, and maybe 5 minutes of the sun being up, he just
Here he comes.
stuck straight to the script he had been doing. And
I don't think honestly, I don't think I've ever been. No, there's two, 3 deer that you have killed that I have literally been like over the moon excited for you. That was the 132. And then the one that we tracked an entire mile. I was just happy that we found him at that point. And then last year when you shot that buck opening day, dude, that was, I think, the turning point for me when I'm like, okay, Josh knows what he's doing. Like you and you're humble with it, and I love that. But I have to point it out. You really do know what you're doing. I mean, I would put you up there with half the guys that I have come on this podcast that have walls of giants. If we lived in Iowa, you'd have a wall of 180s.
I can't afford that.
But what I'm saying is if we lived there, like if we were in Illinois or Iowa or Wisconsin, Ohio, whatever, where these giant bucks live. Because, a giant buck to us in Georgia is 120, 130, 140.
Say mid 120s.
Yeah, like if you go south, you get a couple 150s. Go hunt Atlanta, there's 80s and, giants and stuff. But in our area, a 130 is like a lifetime deer.
Yeah.
And I have you on the same level as them because it seems like every time you have an eye for it and the way your brain works when you think like, okay, what's this deer? And I understand, that one buck he was just doing what he was doing,
Yeah.
right? But I've seen you do the work. I've seen you do the mind game stuff with these deer, and then it comes together and you're successful.
Yeah.
So
That was the only buck I shot last year.
I'd be happy with that.
And I was. And, you know, he's hanging on my wall as a European mountain. He's not on the wall. He's sitting on my dresser,
Eh,
along with
he's there with you.
some of the others.
Yeah.
But, hunting with a bow to me, I love shooting deer.
Yeah.
Like I said, I love watching them too.
Yeah.
And I tell myself this all the time, and I tell a lot of people, as soon as I shoot, that adrenaline rush is gone. Now it's like, all right, let's go work.
Oh, dude, I'm the exact opposite.
Uh,
I cried when I shot that spike last year because I got to see him fall over and like again, God working. Um, my adrenaline doesn't, my adrenaline doesn't go away for like an hour. Even when I haven't found the deer
Yeah.
yet, I'm still like shaking and all of
get
that.
I take that back. I my adrenaline kicks in about right after I release that arrow.
Yeah.
And then it's like the shakes hit me hard.
You don't get them beforehand?
And then
Like when you're going to draw your bow back, you don't have any type of shaking or anything?
no, and I focus more on the shot.
Okay. Understandable.
I walk through your all right, wait. Wait for him to turn, wait for him to turn, wait for him to turn. If he don't turn, and it's like, all right, adrenaline's gonna start kicking in a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like I'm kind of anticipating it. But there's been instances where they just turn, keep on going, and feed away. It happened to me and my son 2 years ago.
Oh, I remember.
I mean,
I remember.
what would have been a amazing first butt for anybody to shoot.
Yeah.
He sat there and fed, and like his butt was towards us for
You
15 minutes.
Could have Texas heart shot him, but I know you're
I
not.
could have.
I get,
don't
yeah.
know about my son,
Yeah.
8 years old at the time.
I mean, so I want to ask you on that because, Tiffany may end up coming hunting with me at some point. What's your opinion on that? Like, if you were hunting with the kids,
Don't expect to see anything.
no, I don't mean that. I'm saying like, oh, trust me, I've learned that. I took Tiff one time and she was on her iPad the whole time and we were there for like an hour and she's like, can we go? I'm like, yeah, there's nothing been showing up anyway. Let's just do it.
Genesis this past year, 5 minutes we were in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one probably would have got me a little annoyed, but again, you can't really expect them if they're not in it like we are. But my question is, say you and Jasper are going, right? And there is like a 130 that
Shoot
walks
'em.
out.
Shoot 'em.
But you don't think that so I know like you would say that. Like you would definitely shoot him. But do you think that starting off a child that way is the best way to do it? Because the only reason I ask is like I look at it, and I'm 31 years old. I look at it now that I spent 3 years trying to kill something like that. And I've only seen a handful of that. I've seen a ton of those.
Yeah.
And so like my thing is someone that's relatively new to it or definitely new to it, do you think that they should go for the more realistic side of things and get like the experience of killing and learning rather than killing a giant first go and then what? Because everything else is not going to compare.
He'd shot a button buck
True.
about a week beforehand.
Yeah, I remember that.
But let me ask you, in that same sense, were you excited to shoot that one?
Dude, I cried more for him than I did for Pickles over there. So yes,
Pickles is bigger.
Pickles is way bigger.
So all it does is give you lights that fire inside of you.
True.
To chase. What was it, 3 years ago? I shot a spike, a gnarly spike.
I'm trying to remember which deer that was.
I sent you a picture of him.
Yeah.
It was like a about a 3.5-year-old Spike, but had scars all over his face from
Really?
spiking.
Oh wow. I vaguely remember that deer.
Yeah, I think all I did was take a picture of the head and
Yeah, yeah,
feet,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
I did a European mount on him, and like he's up there. They're all my trophies.
Yeah.
Every deer is my trophy, but like I had a some that are more of a trophy to
Well,
me
yeah,
than
it's they're
others.
more presentable than, like
But
I would show that deer off more than I would a spike.
my Spike is in there.
I get what you're saying.
Like to me, he was
So
a
it's
trophy,
so
and he's a warrior.
it's not all about
I
size for you.
mean, and 7 years ago, I shot one of the biggest body deer I'd ever shot, and he may have scored 80 inches.
Was I there for that?
No, this was on public land.
Are you sure?
Hmm.
Oh, that's right. No, that was the same deer that you killed when I shot him, wasn't it? The 8 point?
No, this is
Was
a
it the
whole little
Forky?
one. No, it was a little
Oh,
six
okay.
pointer,
Oh,
but
okay, okay.
he come in working scrapes, and
Dang,
I could
why
tell he
didn't?
was a dominant deer. He had a big body, and
Yeah, he just didn't have
yeah,
nothing
honestly,
for
I didn't
antlers.
expect that size of rack. Like I said, he was
Yeah,
working a scrape.
he was probably an old deer that
Yeah,
just needed to get taken out.
and I was just as excited when I hung him up in the garage to skin him out.
Yeah.
He went from floor to ceiling.
Jeez,
Golly.
giant. That's a huge deer. I don't know. I look at it like, because the new generation of kids, like you and I growing up, we didn't have instant gratification, right? Like we were part of the generation that didn't have cell phones. We didn't have iPads. We didn't
My
have,
kids still trip out about that.
yeah, Tiffany does too. She's like, what's a CD player? I'm like, God, you don't even know. Which is funny because she actually grew up with a DVD player. It's basically the same thing, but she also was two. Anyway, the way I see the new generation of kids is like, they want and with social media and everything, I mean that is a big thing that I've had to work on. Is I go on Facebook or Instagram during deer season and I've got 10, 15 bucks that I want to shoot, but none of them are showing up, and it's November.
Mhm.
I've already seen 500 giant deer killed in surrounding counties or states over or whatever, people I know that are killing stuff, and it's like it almost is like a keeping up with the Joneses kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it makes me want to stop hunting because there's nothing that would make me do
No.
that.
No.
But kids that don't have the solid, I guess, love for it like we do. I'm not saying all of them are like this, but
Yeah.
a lot of them are glued to their screens. And I just wonder if starting off one of the kids on like a 120 or bigger may, because it's not easy to find those deer,
No,
it's
it is not.
not. And so like I would wonder if you start them off on that and then they're older and they go 5 years without killing something like that, if they just say, you know what, I'm done with it because I've already killed
But
a big buck.
you distilled that in them. See, I don't force my kids to hunt with me. Like
Yeah,
if they want to hunt, I want them to
to
want
go.
to.
Yeah.
I don't want to force them because I don't know if you remember growing up. Oh, you do this, you do that, you do that. What do? You end up hating doing it.
Yeah, cutting grass.
Yeah.
That was
So
my
I
that was my thing.
want them to want it. And if he shot that deer, and let's say he didn't hunt for 10, 15 years, 20 years, and he's like, well, you know what? I kind of want to go hunting again.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm alive that day where he makes that decision.
Has he asked you to go since? Like, has he brought it up? I mean,
He
I know we're in the middle of off season, but
he asked me like the last week of deer season, and I was done hunting
yeah,
by that point, and I was like, man, I think we went and sat one more time out at the lake, but I hadn't fed them deer since
yeah,
late October, and like them deer down there, if you ain't got food out or nothing,
you ain't gonna see him.
they ain't really cutting through there.
Yeah, it's just interesting, man. Like because our jobs as dads to, if the kids want to get into it, to set a good example. And I know you are. I'm not saying that you're not. I'm just thinking
Because they
like,
just distill it into their head to where they may pick it up, they may not,
yeah,
but
Satisha.
yeah.
She's like, where are you? Oh man. Is she saying that? Is she, do you need to go? Okay. Um, yeah, I don't
All
know.
I gotta do is pack to go to the beach. It's good. We're good.
You're leaving in 2 days. You have time. You're fine. You're fine. I mean, Is she like Jessica too, where she needs like a giant suitcase and a bunch of stuff that doesn't get worn and then has to get washed?
I don't know. She got mad at me because I was just playing this as a guy's trip, me and a buddy of mine just go
Yeah.
chase some sharks,
Yeah.
and now it
It's turned into
turned
a
into
family
like
trip.
a family trip, and
Yeah.
it's like, dude, I'm literally going down
Yeah, well,
for the night.
it's like tack this year. You know, we were talking about this the other day. Like you and I usually that's like, and I've told this to Jessica too. It's like that's our guy time to get away. Like that's sort of our little mini vacation that we take. And then now it's turned into a family trip, which I'm fine with. But I am worried for Jessica because she has that bad knee,
Yeah,
and Tennessee mountains are not easy on crippled people.
that's okay. You
I,
can backpack her.
yeah, I might have to. From what I hear about the Jack Links course, I might have to. Like John, or was it John or Mark? I think it was Mark, up at Ace, told me that we better pray it doesn't rain because
Yeah,
they
because
had a
this,
spot where you had to hold onto a rope and you need
yeah,
like a
he
bow
said
sling.
that
And I'm like,
there's people falling all over the place.
yeah, it's like, dude, I don't want to do that. I do not want to.
Well, the way this drought's going,
That's true. I want this drought to continue until after May 3rd. Then we can have tsunamis, storms. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Um, so what are you expecting out of TAC this year? What do you think it's going to be like?
a good time as
Do you
always.
think is Tisha going to come with us on the course?
No,
Okay.
she'll be back at the camper with the kids and dogs.
She's probably going to be really mad at the three of us because we're all having
Typical.
fun. No, you don't
She
think
knows
so?
the plan.
I really hope they can hear that. It's just that's so funny.
No, like, that's why we were going to go up a little earlier. We
Because she knows,
we're
like,
going to go adventuring around and doing all this other stuff. Like,
yeah,
Friday's going to be family day. Saturday's going to be family day.
Sunday's tack
Hey,
day.
walk around the tack booths and stuff
Well,
Saturday.
and that's what I was trying to get. Like, I don't want her to think that she's not welcome because obviously she
Yeah.
is, And I would love it if the kids came to the attack event. And the only problem is, I can just imagine those two on the course. Like you said, 5 minutes in,
Uh,
they'd want to leave.
yeah.
I know they would. So
And, most of the time you take a shuttle bus.
yeah, there ain't no leaving.
Yeah.
There's no, once you start, you are going until the end of it.
Uh-huh.
And it's tough. And I tried telling Jess that because she originally wasn't going to come. And then when you guys decided to stay up for the weekend, because normally you and I ride together, um, I did tell her, I was like, man, I don't know what to do. Like I want to go up there, but then I'd feel bad, leaving you with all the animals and I don't know if I want to make the drive alone. Like that, it's gonna be really boring. And it was just a lot of like, things that were unsure. And then she piped up and she was like, "Oh, well, I'll just go with you." I'm like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Because this isn't just shooting bows. Like this isn't like flat land. It's in the
Yeah.
mountains. And on top of that, we do networking. Like I've already got one booth we need to go look at, the Extreme Outfitters guys.
Okay.
They run a YouTube channel. They do a lot of bow reviews and stuff. And I was talking to them. I was trying to get Zach on, who's one of the main guys. And I told him, I was like, all right, well, look, you're gonna be at TAC. I'll just come up there and we'll hang out for a minute. We'll talk and we'll
Yeah.
set a date and stuff.
That's usually
Um,
why we get there early so we can
well,
talk for.
and that's what's got me a little like I don't know how we need to go about it this year because we're gonna be going early to shoot with Kevin and them from Second Amendment, and their knock time's at 9:30. So
So we shooting with them and then shooting our course.
no, we're gonna go. My plan is that we'll go with them, shoot the course because it's the same course.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we'll come back and maybe we can run through the booths and stuff, see everybody. Like, we could see Extreme Outfitters guys,
Shoot.
truck shoot, and then what's his nuts from PSE? I can't remember his name.
Dude, if you said his name, I would remember.
I have it in I keep
Is
want to
it
say
K? Starts with a K or a C?
it's a C. I want to say it's like Cameron, but it's not Cameron.
No.
Oh my gosh, dude. You know what? I have his email, I think. Um I'm gonna figure this out. This is gonna look really, really unprofessional. But
Professional.
well, I know his last name is French. Oh man, it'll come to me. But
Yeah, I was gonna say now this is gonna eat at me.
yeah, I hope he doesn't listen to this. I'm gonna tell him when we see him and be like, yeah, blanked on your name, homeboy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But I need
Um,
to shoot that new Mach
dude, I
35.
want to shoot the Sicario. They have it
I've
at Ace,
I've heard it's
and
hot.
yeah, 357 foot a second. The problem is it's got a 5.25 inch brace height, and that speed you get is only at 30 inches. You drop it down to 28, you're shooting exactly the same speed as all these bows right here. So there's no point.
31.
Yeah, you will be fine. Me and my little baby arms, 28-inch draw. Um, I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna be a good time. I'm always curious, like what your outlook on it's gonna be.
On the
Like,
Sicario
well,
or
no,
just
just like tack in
uh,
general. Because we've gone.
we have a blast every year we go. And the first year we went, I whiffed that one pretty bad.
We both did. I
Last
punched
year,
myself in the face. I fell in a river. Brand new bow. I felt like I was the bee's knees because my bow was mossy oak bottom land and orange cams, and I did not know how to sight in a bow, apparently, and it
yeah,
was that sight right there that's on the bear. The same sight, and I just didn't know what I was doing. 108-yard Sasquatch, and I'd hit the dirt every time. So yeah,
learning curves.
yeah. Well, and Georgia. I wish they'd bring it back to Georgia.
Yeah,
I really do. I mean, I love going to Tennessee and stuff. It's nice up there, but that Georgia tack really, really kicked our butts because last year wasn't hard. Yeah, we were tired, but we were not.
we were also with a bunch of goofballs.
Oh, dude, I hope they're listening to this. I hope I see them next year. Well, as bad as Jessica would not like them. I know she
She would
wouldn't.
not like them
Yeah,
either.
Jessica, I told her about it that night. I was like, yeah, we met some really cool people. I was like, but you would not have liked them. And she was like,
Amanda
why?
doesn't like Deadpool, so I know she.
Oh, God. Yeah. Jessica does, but she's also, you know her. She's the type that, like, for some reason, she puts up a little bit of a wall at first. You kind of have to chip away at that wall.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see that.
And I don't really, I mean, I know why, but it's her sense of humor. Like, I'll put it this way. Every night we watch, there's this channel called Smitty. That's this gaming channel. It's freaking hilarious, dude. They'll play some of the goofiest games and it's some of the funniest stuff. It's very vulgar, but it's hilarious. And she doesn't find half the stuff funny. I'm over here cracking up crying because it's so funny to me. Like there's fart jokes. It's the way. Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's the way that they do things. And then I put one on the other night. She's like, "Can we not watch this?" I was like, "Why? I thought you liked Smitty." She's like, "I do, but I don't like this type of video he does. Some golfing video. It's
Yeah.
just a bunch of dumb stuff." And it kind of showed me. It's like, okay, well, your sense of humor is completely different than mine.
Oh yeah.
And
Like I said, Tisha wouldn't even crack up at Deadpool.
that's nuts.
So
That's
like,
nuts because Deadpool is funny
yeah,
in every way. I mean, is it
it gets a little extreme,
are there
but
some people listening that would be like, well, I think a good Christian shouldn't listen to that. It's like I said, I'm not a perfect Christian, so I still have dark humor. I mean, I used to make autism jokes all the time. I stopped, but I used to make them. I used to make spina bifida jokes. Then I found out what spina bifida was, and I stopped because it's horrible. But at the same time, it's like I have dark humor,
yeah,
and you do too. When we drive, I wish we could record the conversations that we have up to tack because we'd both probably lose our jobs, honestly.
lose my job.
You might not, I might because it's just fun stuff. And I don't know. I am a little nervous because I've pointed out to Jessica how important tack is networking wise.
Yeah,
Um, Granted, now that the podcast is where it's at, like, Victory's going to be up there. We'll go to the Victory booth.
hmm,
Prime's going to be up there. Obviously, I got to go see the Prime guys. Um, I think this year might be a little bit different just because all the bases are covered. You know, there
yeah,
isn't anyone to go up there and be like, "Hey, I run this podcast," and yeah, I'll try to get people on, but I'm not looking to like change anything up that I'm doing. The
yeah,
only thing I'm trying to change right now is tree stands, which when all that happens, we can talk about it. But um, I don't know. It's just fun seeing everybody.
oh yeah,
It's just a lot of fun to see the same people and see how they're doing.
yeah. Atmosphere is always a good vibe.
Yeah.
Like
Even with all the tack bros there, it's still a really good
yeah,
atmosphere.
you know,
That's not talking crap on Tack Bros.
no, I get it.
It's low hanging fruit. I had to take it.
It's just
It's
I
easy.
don't take it serious enough to be like, oh no, y'all, shh, while I'm in my backswing.
Yeah, yeah. There's some people that do.
No, I
We've seen them. We have definitely seen. Josh Jones is going to be up there again. Old Mohawk,
yeah.
7 foot tall. I love that dude, man. Scotty's going to be there too. Botok.
Haynes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he'll be up there. It's just gonna be a good
I'm
time.
telling myself I'm gonna go up there to his shop.
I want to. If you go, like, say you go on a Saturday or something, tell me because I reached out to Scotty about coming on the podcast, and it's Scotty,
Yeah.
so he's gonna be hard to get in contact with. I'd love to get him on. I would absolutely love to get that dude on. He is so freaking smart when it comes down to bows.
Mhm.
I mean, and he's local, which I didn't know.
I think Commerce.
Commerce, yeah, he's
Yeah.
only 2 hours away from here, which isn't really local, but that's better
It's the
than
same state.
it's the same state. Yeah, it's not like going to Iowa and
Yeah.
hanging out with Chris B or something.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, dude, I don't know. I feel like tack and what we do up at tack is, in my opinion, the best way that I can give back to you for everything you've done for me with hunting, if that makes sense. Like you've taught me everything that I know. You're the guy that I bounce stuff off of. I feel like tack's the only way I can be like, hey, Josh, meet all of these people. Maybe you never know what could happen from that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like every year we go, there's always a chance that you can meet someone that it just clicks and they're like, hey, dude, we want you to rep this bow or we want you to do whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Not biased to any bow.
Oh, I know you're not. I know you're not.
That's-
You have a Darton, a PSC, and a Matthews.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
And I'll switch up mid-season and hunt.
yeah. Yeah, I still don't see how you do that. Because I've shot both the Matthews and the Darton and they are not similar at all.
But both of them have features I like about them.
Yeah. So what you're saying is Darton and Matthews just need to come together and make a bow. That way it's
Darth.
Darthu,
Yeah.
Martin. Oh no, there already is a Martin. Damn it. Matten,
Yeah.
Matten, Mathen. Big brain.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh dude, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to cover with you. I mean, all right, I'll ask you this before we wrap this up. Having been hunting Georgia as long as you have and the success that you've had, and I'm asking this for myself and the listeners. What would you say is the number one most important thing to, I guess, do in the woods, or what's the most important thing to you that allows you to consistently get on big deer and kill big deer?
I wish I had a solid answer for you like this.
If you've got a few things, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean it's always, sit still, be quiet, be patient. That's like the three keys to
Yeah.
hunting.
Is there like a tactic or something that you use, like maybe an off-season thing or in season? Like, I guess an example would be when you go, and I'm not talking private, because private, we kind of know what's going on, right? But like public land, when you go in there, are you looking or like, do you have a specific spot in mind that you're going to,
Yeah, oh yeah.
or do you have a specific area that you're like, all right, I'm going to go to this specific area and find the sign and then sit up over the sign?
I've done both.
Okay.
I mean, when it comes to scouting, like me and you will go scout public
yeah.
land. We'll break off and it's like, all right, hey, I'm going over here to this public land.
Yep. Then you'll threaten to throw a rock at a hornet's nest and I'm gone. You remember that?
Hey,
You remember that?
no.
Oh, I tell that story all the time. You don't remember 3, 4 years ago, we went to public and was scouting, and we were like 2 or 3 miles back on that one little fire break, and we go down into where it was like really good turkey habitat, and there was that little creek that came through, and we heard that buzzing. I'm like, dude, what is that buzzing? And there was legitimately a hornet's nest, the size of that freaking skull, antlers included. And you were like, I'm gonna throw a rock at it, and I'm like, all right, bye. And you didn't throw it, but I was ready. I was gonna be gone. I would have gone straight Usain Bolt up that fire break, dude.
Dude, let me tell you a quick story about them paper wasp nests.
Oh God. Uh-huh.
So we were doing some work in Atlanta, and we were running fiber down the power lines.
Yeah.
And of course, like on our line, there was this big paper wasp nest. And I was like, what do we do?
Fire.
That'd have been even cooler. But So, like the stop slow paddle signs that
Yeah. Oh
people use.
no. Did you go
I
Barry Bonds on that thing?
went up into the basket and I said, "Hey, look, man, as soon as I hit this, I need y'all to drive off as fast as y'all can."
With the lift all the way up.
Yes. And so I swung that thing and I judo chopped the nest right off the line. Now, let me go ahead and tell you, the wasp don't go down with the nest. They
No, they
just all
don't.
stayed up there in the air.
Uh-huh.
And dude, it was everything I could do to get down inside the basket of the truck and say, "Go, go, 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 go." As they're sitting there stinging me and everything.
Oh my God,
Best
dude.
experience.
I
But no, I vaguely remember that one with us.
yeah,
But yeah, I'll throw a rock at one
because
else's
we
feet.
we got we got pretty that might be still to this day the most intense scouting mission I think I've ever done. Because we went 2 miles back on that one spot and then walked all the way back. So that's 4 miles. And then we went over to the other it was like a food plot area where I think we were looking for pigs at that point. And we went in some of the thickest, I mean, undergrowth taller than me. And I'm 5'8".
If it's that spot, I'm thinking
The
about
one with the
a little
with the
swamp.
big open field. No, not the swamp.
Oh,
All right, so you know that one. I'm trying to think of how discreet I can be with this. When
oh, I
you go
know
past the
which one.
check-in
Yeah,
station, go down that gravel road, it's off
uh,
to the left. Yeah.
yeah.
We went through that and I have never to this day still, because I knew there wasn't going to be any deer in there. I low key was kind of mad at it. I was like, Josh, what the hell are we doing? Because we're in thorn bushes. We're in this like weaved through thicket that we're slowly going. We were on our hands and knees in the mud going through this like little tunnel.
Can't
It
find them.
I know. That's why I wasn't actually mad, but I was like, what are we doing, man? But I still look back at that. I'm like, one day I'm going to have a setup in that because it's thick.
Uh-huh.
And I guarantee you, if I can find a spot that, backdrop cover's good and there's a trail coming, I know there's deer in there. I
Oh yeah,
know there's deer in there.
yeah.
So,
And like how you're saying, like it just kind of running and gunning on
yeah,
public land, not having an idea. I've done that,
dude, it's so much
and
fun.
like there was one. It's like it was. I was just walking through this pine thicket, pine, 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 and I come up to maybe a acre little area, just a big area. Had
This
nothing
over
but
at the big one or the small one? The one you live near.
uh,
Or is this the one off of
this one over there.
by the river?
Yeah,
Okay.
without giving out too
Yeah, no,
much.
I know. I'm trying to be
But
very cryptic with it.
so like it just opened up to this big oak flat, like a 1 acre oak flat in it.
I remember you
And I
telling
was
me about
like,
this.
this is where I need to be.
Yep.
And I
How f-
climbed up a pine tree
how
and I
far
was just
back were
sitting
you?
there. Huh?
How far back? Like a
It was a
mile?
good ways.
Really?
A lot further than what I would have
Which
liked to.
that's so crazy thinking about that place because every time I see it, it's always mixed
Yeah.
trees, like
But
oaks, pines, all that.
yeah.
You know what? I know exactly where you're talking
No, you
about.
don't. I'll go ahead and tell
No, no,
you.
no. I'm saying like I know like the general area
Oh,
if because you told me some spots
yeah.
over there.
But yeah, I climbed up a pine tree. And honestly, I was sitting there watching these raccoons play around.
Dude, that's so cool.
And next thing I know, they're scurrying off in all different directions, running up trees. And I was like, what the heck? And here it comes. And a really nice, public lane 8 pointer.
Yeah.
I, s- I got to have you.
Is that the one you shot?
Yeah,
That's the one that you killed the same day as that one?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, I know then. I
But
know the
yeah,
area you're talking about.
yeah. So like, running and gun sometimes works. And I did it on that same property. I was just walking, walking, walking in the dark. And then I started hearing crunching up underneath my feet. I was like, all right, here's acorns.
Mm.
This is where I need to sit.
You killed him that morning?
No, this is a whole nother.
Oh, different. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I
and same
was gonna
property.
say I thought it was that
I
evening.
saw probably 40 deer that day going and eating on them acorns.
Yeah, that's a big thing down here. Is if you can find I mean last year was a little I don't use last year for any type of inventory
No,
or any type of like learning except when we have a mass crop like that. Ain't no point in even going. I
yeah,
mean, you can go and you can find it and like you can get on deer, but if we have that again, I'm probably just gonna wait till a rut, to be honest, because that's the only time you're gonna be able to pull them off that. But no, yeah, Georgia's big on that. I mean, a lot of people I've talked to on here. Michael Perry was on last week, and we were talking about that. Um, acorns are
But
key around that time of
we
year.
talked before the podcast how this new property
Oh, dude.
I found persimmon trees,
Yeah. I'm
and
so excited for you this year.
so if
I really am.
you have fruit trees, they're gonna hit them fruit
Yeah.
trees. And my plan is to also plant crabapple trees up there.
Ooh. You might need to save me some persimmons. I've never had
Okay.
one.
They're
No good?
bland.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought they were like peaches.
no, no. A persimmon
Really?
is like a apple and a pear kind
That
of
sounds
mix,
so good.
but bland. They're
That's
tough and bland.
huh.
You get a sweet,
I'll try
mildly
one.
sweet one.
Yeah, I'll try
I'll
one.
eat them, but
Oh,
frankly,
dude.
they produce a lot of fruit, which in return, turkeys and deer like, and that's what I want.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
more.
when you told me about this place, I I had this feeling that it's like you you struck gold, honestly, because especially going there and knowing like where it is in relation to that public land, buddy.
But it's a side we've never hunted.
Exactly. And see, that's the thing. It's a side that is so far away that I don't think a lot of people would go to it personally.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just driving through there, like kind of towards my property,
Yeah,
it ain't nothing but a whole bunch of pine trees.
exactly. Who's going to walk through all those pine trees to get to the good stuff? I mean, there's some people that will,
Yeah,
like,
but it's not like thick pines. It's kind of open.
yeah, it's open cut,
So it's all like open.
but it's still, you have to think, like, put yourself in the general hunter's mindset. They have a climber, they have a deer cart, they have a bow, they have a backpack. They're not going to want to walk that far.
Yeah.
It's just like over on that public land when we hunted that ridge system that I told you about. Um, I can't remember actually. You and I haven't hunted that side yet, have we? Okay.
Remember
We've talked about it. We
scouted.
scouted it. Yeah. Yeah. When we found the camera and we went all the way down in the little ridge and it took us 20 minutes to get up because we're old and fat.
That's the shape.
Yeah, my knees were killing me, dude. Oh, I'm not ready for Colorado next year. But no, that area, even that, because I looked at it was only a half mile back. That was a pain. But it's a good spot. It's a great spot. So think of like the general hunter. They're not going to go that far. They're gonna set up in a pine tree, go up 30 foot, and then hope that. I mean, I'm speaking generally.
Yeah. Getting up there to them branches.
You crazy? You are crazy. I'm not using climbers this year unless I absolutely have to. And even then, I've always only gone like I think the max I've gone is 28 feet.
I mean, I got them if I decide to hunt public or
Yeah.
whatnot. But if I do,
By the way,
hey,
I meant to tell you. I don't know if you noticed because you have hunted there, so maybe you did. The squirrels got to your tree stand.
yeah,
You saw that? The foam.
foam.
Yeah, yeah. Which incidentally, since I brought that up, one of the trees I picked out, I will be in that same tree that your stand is in,
That's
except
fine.
lower. Because what I was looking at, I'll show you when we get off of here. I got some new sticks. I played with them a little bit. I was actually
Get my spikes off.
no, that's what I was gonna say. I need your spikes there.
Okay.
Because the way that it's set up, if I go on the tree that your stand is on, I can use the spikes to get up enough where I can actually get the strap around the tree, and then I can just go from spikes to sticks, use 2 or 3 sticks to get up, and then
Yeah.
I'm set. Because I was actually looking at, because I've paid attention a lot to like the lone wolf way that they do it, and like I was listening to two podcasts today with Cody DeQuisto, who is 8 to 12 foot is like his
Yeah.
area, right? Which I like because I'm not a huge fan of heights. I can do them, but I don't like them. And what he was saying is like the most important thing, like he's been in bare open trees, but the reason he can get away with it is because you've got that backdrop.
Uh-huh.
So when I went yesterday and put that food block out, I was looking for that,
Yeah.
and I looked in that tree, and it was so it immediately clicked. It immediately clicked. I looked where your stand was because I'm like, dude, I'm in the tree next to that tree. How am I getting seen? right?
That's another thing, like going back to like some key things for people starting out.
Yeah.
Try and get hidden
Yeah.
in the
And I
limbs
thought I
and in the
was.
bush as much as you can.
When we hung that stand last year, I thought I was hidden. And then late season came and I'm like, oh, dude, I'm a sore thumb
Yeah.
sticking out.
I mean, even late season, if there's just a whole bunch of twigs and branches behind you, at least breaks up your
Silhouette.
figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, your
And that's
silhouette.
why I'm going to go to the height that I am because I was looking at it. And when I looked at where your stand is, it was so obvious to me now that I've listened to this and I know more about like hanging stands and I guess what to look for. Dude, there's perfect cover right up to the point where I would hang. And then behind me, there's perfect backdrop cover. But then 2 feet above me, it's bare open sky.
Yeah.
But then where your stand is, there's more cover. And I'm like, no wonder. Because I'm like, how are you getting away with this? And then I looked, I'm like, of course, dude, your silhouette's not even getting, I have no idea you're even there.
Uh-huh.
So it made a lot of sense. And like that is,
If you can't get hidden in the brush and branches and leaves and all that, you gotta go hide.
I know. And that's why I'm doing the way that I'm doing. Because like
That
I,
property and social circle, I'm out in the open. I'm also like
you talking about where
35
you guys
feet.
used to live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, across the street from there, but like I'm still like 35 feet
Oh,
up.
totally forgot about that.
Yeah, I got like 25 spikes going up the side of that tree.
Do you need some sticks?
Yeah,
'Cause-
I got plenty of spikes.
okay. I mean, hey, it's worked so far.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I guess to sort of cap it off, I take what you say over pretty much everything that everybody else has on this podcast has told me.
It's a collective. Take it all in.
Well, I do. But if I'm told one thing on here by someone that hunts in the Midwest, because that happens a lot. Like, yeah, I
Yeah.
get Southern guys on, but there's Midwestern guys that come on too. And they'll say, oh, well, I did this or I did this. And I'm like, all right, well, that might work. I'll bounce it off of you. And if you say, hey, that might work up there, but here it's not the same.
But, through trial and error, having a few different hunting spots, it's like, all right, well, don't necessarily want to blow this one completely out, but I'll
Yeah.
go over here. I'll try it.
Yeah, I guess that's the beauty of hunting. It's just figuring out what works and what doesn't. Because again, and this, the perfect example. You can hunt over at that spot that we both share and kill something. I can hunt over there and I see spikes
Ah,
and
exactly.
does. But I'm not saying like, oh, I'm doing everything wrong. But what I'm saying is you can have a great spot, but if you don't have the right setup and you don't go in correctly, because like when you go in there, what have you always gone through that spot that we always like the little entrance on the right side, not the left side? You know what I'm talking about? You go past the church
Yeah.
and you got that tall grass
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah, yeah. When you've hunted, because I know that's the way you go in and put food.
Yeah.
Do you also go in that same way when you
Yeah.
hunt? Really? You
But,
don't change it up and go to the
yeah,
backside?
I also like to take my flashlight way before I even get up there.
Yeah.
I'm shining it all through them woods.
Oh yeah, I do the same thing.
I want to spook them off from the light, not from me walking through the woods.
Are you, and I think I know the answer to this because I've hunted with you, but just, it was a long time ago. Um, when when you go in, are you just straight walk into it, or are you stop? Are you basically like you walk into the woods, shine around if you see something? Do you keep the light on them and then you stop moving, or do you keep moving?
So, like over there,
Yeah.
I'm gonna hop out as soon as I get there. Before I cut my truck off, I flash the high beams and all
Really?
that. Yeah, like I said, I want to spook them off. They're gonna get spooked off regardless.
Yeah.
But I'd much rather them get spooked off by lights versus something walking through the woods.
Hmm.
And so when I'm walking up, I get right there, kind of beside that church, and I'm going to take the flashlight. I'm going to shine it up in there
Hmm.
because a lot of times you're going to hear them.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but I'm still walking with caution. I ain't just like beelining. as
Yeah,
fast
yeah.
as
You're
I
not
can to
like
get there.
running to the tree stand.
So, I try and be as quiet as I can. And then just get there, going up the side of the tree, you ain't making hardly no noise. So
Yeah.
most noise I make in there is, walking in the leaves to get to the tree.
Which is so annoying, dude. I have wanted so bad to take a rake back there and just carve out a path, but scent wise, I know that's not smart because I've done that and I've had deer hit that trail and smell it and just Now
Yeah.
some don't care, but we have that one deer that I named Brutus,
Yeah.
that big seven who was big six or whatever the hell he's going to be this if he's even still alive. That deer is the smartest deer I've ever hunted by far. He daylighted for the first time.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think you sent me a picture of it.
yeah, in January,
Uh-huh.
sucker daylight or no, February, and I'm like, what in the heck?
Yeah.
Every other deer is daylighted except him,
Uh,
and that right there is kind of like the what I would do to hunt him. I feel like I would do to hunt the rest of the deer.
yeah.
Like you were saying, go in, go slow, don't make a lot of noise. I'm trying to think of a way that I can go in there and make it where I'm dead quiet,
Yeah. And
but I I don't know how to do that,
yeah.
you
And
know?
that's where it kind of like where I said, evenings, especially, early season to me has always been
Better.
better.
Yeah.
I
I didn't
don't,
hunt a single morning over
yeah,
there at
I was
all
gonna
this
say
year.
I don't even really hunt mornings until like, it's starting to get cold,
Yeah.
a little frost on the ground or
Yeah.
whatever. But, most evenings you walking in 3, 4 o'clock and, the deer ain't usually feeding till an hour or
Six,
so before
seven.
the sun goes down
Yeah.
and they're prime feed time. So,
Speaking of which, I wanna see. I got a notification an hour ago on oh, oh, no.
not a turkey.
Nothing. Nothing. Dude, I haven't seen a single turkey over there. But like this was over there at the church spot, just deer, bunch of bucks, three different bucks. That's why I
That's
texted you
good.
this morning. I was like, hey, they're back.
Yeah.
Because I was worried they were gonna be gone.
I need to get some mineral out.
Over there or just in general.
Everywhere.
Yeah, I'm not I mean, we talked about this. I'm not big on the mineral stuff anymore. I used to be, but
See,
it just
it helps. It's what it says.
yeah, they say it helps. I'm,
It
I'm sure it does to an
helps the
extent.
the does lactate.
Yeah. But you
Yeah,
were running a mineral side over there for a while.
I
Because
used
there's a hole.
I
There's
always
two
put
holes.
every
Okay.
everywhere. That's where I have my collection of all them 5 gallon or 2 gallon Lucky Buck
Yeah.
mineral.
Dude, that I might get some of that. See, I've done that, but it always crusts over.
Lucky Buck.
Yeah.
I
Because they
guess,
don't really
like
mess with
if
it.
it rains and stuff, but it's usually gone within a week or two.
Huh. Have you ever put out one of those rocks? The Himalayan or not Himalayan.
No,
What is it?
the ball.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
No.
Well, I say that. I think I put a trophy rock out a couple of years
Yeah,
ago,
that's what I
but
was
it
talking
missed
about.
that for probably 3 months.
See, and I don't understand. Like to me, this is the way I look at it. And I could be totally wrong. But those food blocks that we get,
Oh
the
yeah,
Antler King, they work great.
got it.
They weren't touching it over there for a while, but apparently now they like it. Um, in Monticello, they love it.
Yeah.
And I've looked at the ingredients and they get the same amount of like mineral from that they do a mineral block. So it's like,
So the reason I switched to that Lucky Buck last year is because of the high calcium percentage
mm,
and the high phosphorus.
it is probably
Calcium and
higher.
phosphorus is what helps deer antler growth.
Yeah, true.
I ain't gonna say it's gonna put on
You're not
20,
gonna,
30
yeah,
inches,
you're not gonna get a huff buck out of that thing.
but
215 or whatever inch.
if it helps out a half inch more, I
Yeah,
mean, hey, but then, like I said, it also helps the does with their fawns
yeah.
and everything else. And it's an attractant. It just goes into the ground. I've seen it on a lot of cameras. My corn or whatever will run out,
And they'll still
and
come
they're
back.
they're still coming back and licking the ground right there. So,
Maybe that's what maybe I'll try that because my biggest thing I'm trying to do this year is as little amount of pressure as I can all year.
yeah,
I don't want to go every week, feed them and tromp in there. Because, I used to think like, oh, well, they get used to me being there. Dude, last year, not a shot. I don't know if it's me. Maybe I have a different smell than you do or something. I have no clue. But
yeah. I don't know.
it's just I always like when I was hunting the lake, that was totally different. I could go in there, I'd watch them run down the hill and they'd feed
Yeah,
in front of me. They didn't care. So I think that kind of skewed me a little bit where I'm like, if I go every week, on the same day and do the same thing, they'll get used to it.
Yeah.
And maybe they will, but that church spot, no.
And see,
Monticello, yes, but not the church spot.
Academy, the people during deer season, they know me about religion. I'm in there every Monday, and I'll probably get 12 bags of corn.
God dang.
I'll feed, 6 on Monday
Yeah.
at this all my spots, and then Thursday or Friday I can go back out and feed again. And same thing Monday, come back around, I'm gonna go get.
So what would you do hypothetically? Because we have CWD apparently in Georgia now. Say 10 years from now, they're like, hey, no more baiting, which I don't think they're gonna ever do that because that's not what's causing the spread. It's gonna spread regardless.
Yeah,
But what would your strategy be then?
find acorns. And
Okay.
I mean,
Or food plots.
yeah, food
Because now
plots,
you've got the
put food
means.
plots in.
Yeah, which, dude, it just brings me back to your new place, dude. I'm so excited. I cannot wait until July
Yeah,
because,
when the antlers
yeah,
they start to
or
grow.
not even just, I'd say next month because, in May they start branching out.
Yeah,
Like I've already got one, that one buck I showed you in Monticello. He's already got the little, knuckle nubs.
I
And
got
it's
one
like,
starting to.
yeah. And it's like, dude, it's that time of year, man. I'm so excited.
Excited to see what it is because usually I ain't feeding no deer this time of year generally.
Yeah. Well, and think about I want you to, and we'll wrap it up after this, but I want you to just think about what you have now. Okay. You have property that is connected to some of the best public land that I have personally ever seen in our state. Okay. I've seen a 160-inch deer on that property. We saw a 150-inch 11 point get killed last year. He was
Yeah,
probably bigger than that. There was a 140 that was killed there. One of our buddies, David, killed two 120s in the same morning.
yeah,
So on that property alone, and you've seen the pictures I've had, I had that 140, probably 140, 150-inch 9 point that was in the field, and he wasn't even the biggest deer that was there. So the deer are there.
oh yeah,
All right. So you now live on a property that not only the woods are connected to that, because deer don't know property lines.
yeah,
If you have food there,
oh
bro,
yeah,
there is no telling what you're gonna pull off of that.
yeah. I mean,
And even if you have because what you could end up with is having a big mature, let's say 150, right? And I know that's kind of a stretch for Georgia, but this property really can produce that. Um,
that's my goals in years down the road.
yeah.
It may not be this year. I may not even shoot a buck out there, but I want to. I say trophy manage it, but
You want to manage the herd. I get
yeah, I
that.
want to see. I want an inventory of everything that's coming through.
Yeah.
And, rut changes it up every year. Like,
But that makes it even more because you have 6,000 acres. That there could be a deer on one part of the property now that in November he grows into God knows what,
yeah,
and he's on yours. And that's the thing I was getting at is like you now have a spot that say your private land is kind of, you know, drying up a little bit or whatever. Well, you don't have to worry about it. You can either drive up the road and go hunt public, or you can literally walk through your backyard and go hunt public.
yeah.
And I mean, have you scouted at all
I haven't.
behind what you own yet?
The most I did was I walked back there a little bit and hit the turkey call just a little bit to see if I can hear any gobbles way off in the distance. But that's about as far as I've went with it.
Do you have any cameras that are on the property line?
No,
Do you need any? Because I have one that you can use.
we'll talk about that after
Okay,
this.
okay. Because and I'm saying that with obviously all legality. Like I'm not saying go, bait on the line.
No,
Don't do that. But I just am I'm so excited to see what happens over there, man. And this is one of those times like
Walk,
I
all
know.
you've seen is
I
the
know.
house.
I know. And I saw what's there and I'm like, dude,
Yeah,
dude. It that is one of those things because like we obviously we're buddies, right? Um I have in the past been like, hey man, well, what do you think if I come to hunt with you over there? This is one of those places and one of those times I will not do that because
why not?
I want you to kill the best thing
Since
that's
I have
out there.
two food plots.
Okay, fine. If
I
if
know.
you invite me, that's different. I'm not gonna ask. I will literally say it right now in front of every single person listening. I will never ask to come hunt that place only because that is your like I want to see you kill the biggest deer that you can on that property. And I know what's there. This is the beauty of it is it's not a, well, man, I don't know. I'm not sure what's in the area. We know what's in the area. We know what can show up.
Yeah, I need a buddy to come hunt it.
Okay, well, if this is an invite, then fine. But I I I have the most I have a feeling about this season for you over there that it's just going to be totally different.
I'm indecisive about it, but we'll see.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to jinx you, but knowing that property
Yeah,
and knowing like how you do things and just how you literally have a deer magnet
dude,
in you,
I'd be thrilled if there was like a 115, 120 inch 8 pointer,
I wouldn't be surprised. I think it's going to be bigger than
and
that.
that would be.
I think it's going to be bigger than that. I'm making a prediction right now that you kill the biggest deer of your life this season. That's my prediction.
Well, that one in Conyers might be it.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking
Uh,
about where you're at now. What one in Conyers? You haven't even shown me it, have you? Have you?
I've had pictures of him the last 2 years.
Is it the 12, 10, 8?
He was
Which one?
10. He's a
Wide
little, no,
or
he's like tall.
so
He's a
kind of like
little
that, but a 10 point.
taller. His
Taller?
brow tines are probably about
Holy, you have not shown me that deer. No, no, no. After
after
we have a camera on us. All right. Well, Josh, look, we've been at this. This might be the longest podcast I've ever done. I think we're at 2.5 hours almost. So yeah, yeah, it's 8 o'clock.
Oh God.
Yeah, I know. This couldn't have worked out any better because Jess was looking at houses and I told her, hey, I don't know how long this is gonna go. It could be an hour, it could be 3.
Yeah.
But all I really gotta say is thank you for getting me into this. And dude, I mean, I would not have anything that I have hunting related if it wasn't for you. So
you'd have got there eventually.
not in the way that I have. I wouldn't have the person that I could literally bounce ideas off of and be like, yo, I'm thinking about doing this crazy thing. What do you think? And you're like, yeah, try it. Or you're like, nah, that's stupid. Don't do it.
I don't never say that. I'd be like,
You might not say those exact words, but it's the same. That's what you mean.
I never think that about you, Eric.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Especially early days of my hunting career.
Probably not.
Like, wait, you said you're gonna do what? The wind was blowing. Huh? You sprayed doe and estrus when?
Blowing on your back? What?
Yeah, why? It's well, because I wanted the food smell to get to him. It's like, yeah, well, guess what other smell is getting to him, buddy?
Corn all in my pockets.
That actually didn't you do something like that where you had your clothes in corn? I know someone that did that.
I do put my clothes in like cedar chips.
No, it wasn't you. It was Jessica's friend's fiance that I took to public. He put all his hunting clothes in like corn in a corn bag. And he smelled like corn, like literally smelled like corn. I'm like, yeah, that could work, but it's 80 degrees in November. Are you really going to do that?
Probably. I don't know.
Yeah, we didn't see anything, so I don't know if it would work. But anyway, thank you for coming on. Great first in person episode.
Yeah.
I do need to work on the setup, I think a little bit because my back has been killing me this whole time. And I don't like having like I'm like this the whole time.
Yeah.
Not like that. So people are gonna see the back of my
We
head.
should have set it up over there.
I
We
thought-
both sat right there.
Yeah, I thought about that, but I didn't want to be like this the whole time talking to you, even though I basically was.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna work on it.
Yeah.
But
Next time we sit across from each other.
yeah, what I need to do, what I really need to do is I need to figure out how the setup needs to be with cameras. If I can get like a little, camera to set up right there, right?
Yeah.
Or like in this corner or something, and then have it hooked to this where it's still recording. And I could technically have something in here recording the audio, and then cord or something that goes to the
Yeah.
camera that's recording it too. I don't know. I have buddies that know how to do it. I just haven't asked because I don't have the money to do it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So thank you for coming on.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for everything else. And guys, remember, Christ is King. Go read your Bible. Go shoot your bow.